Strange spatial gates have appeared all over the world, and inside them lurk incredibly dangerous mutant beasts. To survive, humanity awakened the gene codes of these very beasts. Each person can only awaken one beast, with their strength being evaluated by a nuclear value. But our main character, he can awaken an infinite number of them. And his first beast? It's none other than Godzilla. His nuclear value has so many digits that even the World Alliance's system can't process his abilities and just keeps crashing. With just 10% of the Godzilla gene code's power, he became the top scorer in the entire country. And his second beast is the Colossal Titan, with a body that stands 1 kilometer tall. Not only that, he can even combine these gene codes, and as for what he finally turns into, well, even I have no idea. Okay, without further ado, let's dive in. Inside a spacious room, motivational banners for the college entrance exams are hung up high. His eyes were filled with confusion. Did I return to the time before my high school graduation exam? Right then, in class 73 of Ancheng First High in the Xia Kingdom, He slammed his desk and yelled, startling everyone. He clutched his head, a look of horror on his face. What kind of twisted plot is this? If you're going to reincarnate me, at least do it after I get into college, right? A glowing purple orb appeared, filled with bizarrely shaped creatures. Since ancient times, humanity on the Azure planet has always faced a cataclysm known as the invasion of the mystic realms. They are far more ferocious than other creatures. These mystic realms connect to another world, one teeming with terrifying demonic beasts. They exploit the cracks in these realms to invade the human world. The strongest demonic beasts are powerful enough to destroy dozens of nations, threatening all of human civilization. To fight back against these demonic beasts, humanity developed the demonic beast gene system, injecting special genes into their bodies, beast genes to awaken a monster template and unlock their genetic talents. Only warriors like these can save all of human civilization. A single person with beast genes can fight against a horde of monsters alone. This also led to warriors having a much higher status and receiving far better treatment than ordinary people. The entire Azure planet entered an era where martial arts are revered above all else. Everything else is considered inferior. The system displayed incomprehensible messages about traversing worlds. Just then, a mechanical voice sounded inside He's head. He clutched his head, thinking to himself, He. A high school student. The whole class turned to look at him, laughing out loud. Look, that loser he is daydreaming again. A piece of trash like him wants to take the college entrance exam? Wang Tongtong turned around, a disdainful look on her face, and said to you should just hurry up and drop out. Go home, you good for nothing. Become a bottom-rung laborer or just hide at home until you die. He thought angrily. Of course. Every story about a bullied protagonist has to have a ringleader bitch. He put a hand to his chin, thinking, it seems the original owner of this body didn't have a very good reputation in class. It's because his parents had an accident in the 11th grade. This left the original owner with no heart for training or studying. As a result, his once decent grades plummeted, and he became a thorn in the class's side. So that's how it is. Seeing him staring, Tong got angry. What are you looking at? This is a martial arts class. You want to fight? He felt wronged and thought to himself, was I even looking at her? I was just lost in thought. The original owner was the one who didn't study hard, but I'm the unlucky one who has to deal with it. The teacher at the front of the class spoke loudly to motivate the students. Are all of you ready? We're about to begin the gene-modifying injections. Just believe in yourselves and the hard work you've put in. You've spent the last 3 years improving your vital energy, all for this very day. He pushed up his glasses and continued. As for those of you who slacked off, He propped his chin on his hands, smirking as he thought, how ridiculous. The original owner was the one who didn't train. Why should I feel ashamed? He flashed a dangerous smile and thought to himself, but since I've taken over this body, I guess I should help him clean up this mess. All the students were now gathered in a room. 4 boxes were placed neatly on a table as students chattered amongst themselves. Hey, what kind of monster gene do you think I'll awaken? Maybe a level 3, rending mountain boar? Or a level 4 Gia high dragon? I bet it's a level 1 farting beast. Suddenly, the boxes opened, and white smoke billowed out. Inside, the boxes were vials of blue liquid. This was the gene awakening reagent, containing all the demonic beast genes that warriors had collected over the years. The teacher picked up a syringe filled with the blue liquid and explained its function. After injection, your body will absorb one of the genes within. And from there, the awakening will begin. Generally, the stronger your body, the stronger the gene you will awaken. Don't rush it. After injecting the reagent, calm your minds and accept the flow of power. When I call your name, come up and receive your reagent. He then called up the students one by one to get their dose. Chen Bangfei, Miao Yinuo. As the serum was injected, each student began to radiate energy of different colors. He looked over and remarked, So they all get weird like this after the injection? Looks like it's really painful, too. Guess this power doesn't come easy. He gritted his teeth, injected the serum into his own body, and said, whatever, let's just do it. His eyes widened, but nothing happened. He looked at the teacher and said, Sir, did I accidentally inject a fake? The teacher looked back at him with a helpless expression and said, Yee-hee. It seems like there's no change in you at all. A laugh rang out. It was Wang Tongtong. She walked over, sneering, Hey everyone, look, it seems he failed to awaken. She got closer and poked Yi in the face, saying, A warrior who hasn't awakened is like a bird with no wings. Doesn't that mean our dear Yi, he can only wait to die? But hey, isn't this exactly what you wanted? Now you don't have to become a warrior. You can just crawl back home and wait to die. Yi, he thought furiously. This girl is so damn annoying. Could she be the one who's been leading the bullying against me? Just then, he began to feel something stirring inside his body. At the same time, the system's voice rang out. Wang Tongtong asked with a confused look, What are you doing? If you failed to awaken, just accept it. What's the point of pretending, trying to be kind? Yi, he warned her. You guys need to leave. Now, she asked, not understanding. Leave? Go where? He tried to warn them again. If you don't go now, it'll be too late. At that moment, the image of a monster erupted from Yihee's body, sending Wang Tongtong flying. The force emanating from Yihee's body blasted away all the students standing nearby. The students screamed one after another. Such a powerful shockwave. Who awakened that? What is this? This aura. I can't take it. Liu Qingzhu turned to look in surprise. Chuzhou glanced over, thinking to himself, There's someone even stronger than me? The system's voice rang out again. Template. Legendary-Grade Godzilla Template. Bloodline abilities. Atomic Breath. Nuclear Pulse. Atomic Energy Absorption. Evolved Form. Burning Godzilla. Activated only at 100% compatibility. Current compatibility, 3%. He weakly stood up and said, Class A Template. Godzilla. Infinite Monster Template. He looked at his hand and said, Could this be the golden finger the system gave me? A few students looked at Yihei warily, saying, Was that Yihei's doing just now? In an instant, he blew away everyone around him. Wang Tongtong was knocked unconscious after being thrown. The students said Wang Tongtong was also sent flying, and she awakened a level 2 beast, the fire lizard. What kind of monster could he awaken? Yi. He walked away, laughing as he said, So sorry about that. My awakening was a little loud. I did tell everyone to stay back, but none of you listened. A voice came from a speaker on the wall. All 12th grade students have completed their gene injections. Please proceed to the stadium for bloodline testing. The gene breakthrough testing device can identify one's demonic beast and martial arts level. Li Xinyuan's information panel appeared. Li Xinyuan from our class awakened a level 3 wind-stepping insect gene. Lucky him. Before his awakening, he was just average, but now he's shot straight to the top. Bloodlines are really something else. Chuzhou lives up to his reputation as the perennial top student. Not only is he a level 9 martial artist, but he also awakened the Ice Demon Dragon, a top-tier level 3 bloodline. He's guaranteed to be the top scorer in Ancheng this time. Just then, Liu Qingzhu's information panel appeared, leaving everyone in awe. Quick, look! Miss Liu is also a level 9 martial artist. I wonder what she awakened. Oh my god, a rare level 4 bloodline. It's the Nether Sparrow. She's definitely number 1 now. A level 4 beast bloodline, once it reveals its true form, can destroy more than half a city. In front of them, martial artists are no different than ants. To even stand a chance against them, you'd have to be at least a martial grandmaster. Yi, he stroked his chin, thinking, The monsters they awakened are all level 3 or 4, so why is mine Class A? Next up, Class 127. Yi he. The announcement from the speaker startled Yi Hei. Do they have to be so dramatic? All the students looked at Yi he, murmuring among themselves. That shockwave earlier was so powerful. He might become a big shot in the future. We should get on his good side now, so we can ride his coattails later. Wow, he's a god. He thought to himself, this world really does worship the strong. He slowly stepped into the testing device. Everyone watched Yi with admiration. It was finally his turn. That aura from before. Its level definitely wasn't low. What kind of bloodline could release that much power? It must be something insanely strong. Ancheng No. 1 High School is really going to make waves this time. At the back of the line, Chuzhou watched Yi Hei, thinking, so his name is Yi Hei, huh? This should be interesting. Yi's information panel appeared, confusing many people. Class 127, Yi He. Martial Artist Level 3. Beast Bloodline, Unknown. At that moment, the crowd of students burst out laughing. Level 3 Martial Artist? Pfft. Even my little brother in middle school could beat him. Bloodline unknown? Don't tell me he doesn't even have one. Isn't it obvious? What good could a level 3 martial artist possibly awaken? How embarrassing. So disappointing. He really is trash, and always will be. He stepped out, thinking, just as I thought. The scanner couldn't detect Godzilla. Notifications for the Infinite Monster template. As he was thinking, a system panel appeared, saying, Infinite Monster Template Upgrade Guide. You can obtain more extraction time for live monster templates by completing missions or increasing your reputation. Extract now? He smirked to himself. My template's level might not be like theirs, but it's much more interesting. With a fearsome expression, he said aloud, as long as I meet the conditions, I can extract and use monster templates an infinite number of times. Doesn't that make me the king of the monsters? The scene changes to Ancheng No. 1 High School. The old man turned his head as he sipped his tea and said, What? You want to take a leave of absence to study at home until the college entrance exams? Do you really think I'd believe you'd actually study properly at home? He, with a determined look, said to the teacher, Sir, I really want to improve. I know I've fallen far behind, and to catch up, I need a special training course. If I just follow everyone else's pace, I'll never be able to keep up. The teacher's face darkened as he told him, You must understand that to become a martial artist, the only path is through a university. I know you've awakened a bloodline, but your foundation is non-existent. There's no way you can pass the college entrance exam. So, you should prepare to repeat the year and try again next time. There's no need to rush. With a determined look and sparkling eyes, he said, Sir, you have to sprint to make progress. You might not know this, sir, but I've now awakened a powerful bloodline. As long as I train hard, I'm sure I can succeed. Please, just look at my sincere eyes. I'm not trying to trick you. The teacher was taken aback, breaking into a sweat. That is, very sincere. All right, fine. But if it doesn't work out, you better come back obediently next year to repeat. A center named Haicheng Martial Arts Center. He walked along with his backpack, talking to himself. The house my parents left me can be mortgaged for 600,000 yuan. Adding the compensation money from their accident, I have over 1 million yuan. Now I have a decent amount of startup capital. First, I need to raise my martial artist level. Second, I need to increase my compatibility with the Godzilla template. As he was thinking, a system mission appeared. Information in the Infinite Monster template. Each newly released template has only 1 compatibility point, but the Legendary Godzilla has a full 3 compatibility points. Where did the other 2 points come from? An image of a syringe with a test drug appeared in his mind. There's only one answer. The Godzilla template absorbed the power from the gene reagent, granting it 2 extra compatibility points. He smiled as he walked. This proves that this world's gene-related technology can upgrade my template's abilities. Compared to grueling training, using money to buy medicine to level up is much more my style. He continued, I need to buy some gene-strengthening drugs. And fast. He arrived at the gate and swiped his student card on the scanner. His eyes widened in shock at what he saw. Martial artists were walking back and forth. Beasts manifested from their bodies. He thought to himself. Everyone here is a martial artist who has awakened their bloodline. After awakening the legendary Godzilla template, I gained its unique ability to sense life fields. His own beast materialized behind him as he fell deep into thought. Godzilla can use its life field to sense the life signals emitted by other creatures. I can clearly feel the raging blood and chi burning like a furnace inside these martial artists, and the wild roars of the beasts in their bloodlines. He broke into a smile and said, Beast martial artists. I can barely suppress the urge to fight that's welling up inside my body. After all, the legendary Godzilla is the king of the monster world, an emperor who seeks to conquer every living creature on this planet. But right now, I'm just a newbie. I can only grit my teeth and endure this boiling in my bloodline. I'll wait until I've stabilized and grown stronger, then I'll unleash the true power of the king of the monsters. Model. Suddenly, someone tapped Yi on the shoulder, startling him. A voice called out, Hey, buddy. Yi turned around to see a girl. Liang Li spoke up. Don't stare at people like that. He said. Oh, sorry, miss. I didn't mean to. Liang Li replied. It's fine. You must have just awakened your genes, right? It's normal not to be able to control your powers. What are you doing at the Martial Artists Center? He said. I came to buy a gene potion, but this place is so big. I can't seem to find the place. Pretty lady, could you show me the way? She said. Looking for a gene potion? Do you need it urgently? He asked. Is there some kind of restriction on using it? Liang Li shook her head and replied. Not really. It's just that, for one, this potion isn't cheap, and for another, you can easily build up a resistance to it, making it less effective over time. Liang Li held up a finger and continued. To maximize the potion's effects, Martial artists usually use their own bloodline to break through a bottleneck before taking it. Yi He asked. About how much is one vial? She answered. Well, at your stage, you can only use the basic strengthening potion. It costs around 400. Yi He nearly choked. He thought to himself and then said, What? That expensive? Even if I withdrew all my money right now, I couldn't even buy 5 vials. Do you know anyone who could give me a little discount? Liang Li took out a business card and handed it to him, saying, Here, take my card. You can get a discount if you're referred by an experienced martial artist. Yi He turned to leave and said his goodbyes to Liang Li. Thank you so much. Liang Li replied. See you around, little buddy. A pair of blue eyes watched and said, All right, next. Yi. He will head to the checkout counter. Then he went to the weapon shop and declared loudly, Time for a shopping spree. At that moment, a system notification sounded. Legendary Monster Template. Godzilla. Compatibility. 3 to 4%. Host. Yi He. Overall physique. 8 to 10, 10 to 15. Level 7 Martial Apprentice. Yi. His arms dropped to his sides in exhaustion as he exclaimed, So, this is what leveling up feels like. It's incredible. But now, every time I inject a gene potion, my physique increases by 2 points. When I used the last one, it only went up by 1 point. It seems that, as my physique gradually increases, it's going to get harder and harder to strengthen myself this way. But still, this isn't bad. In just 10-something minutes, I've achieved what would take others 3 years of hard training. And this is just my body's normal state. If I activate the bloodline power within me, he looked at his hand and said with a grin, I might even be able to snag the top spot in the university entrance exams. If I can't beat those so-called geniuses even with a cheat like this, then this cheat is completely useless. Off to the secret realm. The scene changed to show islands divided by rank. Secret realm rifts are divided into 6 levels, from S to E. The higher the level of the secret realm, the more powerful the mana beasts inside. The mana beasts in an S-rank secret realm are something humanity simply cannot control. If they were to invade the real world, it would be a catastrophe for all mankind. Ancheng number 3, an E-rank secret realm. Yi, he said as he walked with his hands in his pockets. There are fewer people here than I thought. It's probably because this secret realm was discovered a long time ago. It's an old one, after all. All the treasures inside have likely been taken already. Yi, he said to the gatekeeper, Hello, I have a reservation for a ticket to secret realm number 3. The gatekeeper replied, Sign the life and death waiver. Here's your entry ticket. In front of Yi, he was a blue portal. He wondered, So this is a secret realm rift? With a smile on his face, he said, This is the beginning of my journey to become the king of the monsters. Yi, he shouted and ran into the portal. Here I come. As he entered, it felt like falling into a pool of water. A moment later, Yi He landed. He appeared in a forest with planets visible in the sky. He looked around and said, Even though the textbooks described what a secret realm looks like, it's nothing compared to seeing it with my own eyes. It's truly magnificent. He spoke as he walked, unaware that a rabbit had just appeared behind him. You can even see a blue sky here. A notification panel appeared. Level 1 Mana Beast. Saber-toothed rabbit. The rabbit bared its teeth and extended its claws, lunging at him at high speed. Just then, Yi He reached out and grabbed the rabbit straight by its head. He chuckled and said, You idiot. Did you really think I couldn't sense you? A notification panel appeared. Template ability. Self-sustaining life. Yi. He mercilessly crushed the rabbit's head. A mana core appeared in his hand. Yi, he said. The mana core of a common white-blooded saber-toothed rabbit sells for about 1,000, making 1,000 in just a few minutes after entering. That's pretty efficient. A normal person works hard for a whole month just to make 3,000 or 4,000. Yi He held up the mana core to inspect it and said, But collecting a bunch of level 1 mana beast cores is pointless. I should at least be hunting level 2 mana beasts or higher. Just as he finished speaking, a shadow darted past him. A mana beast appeared, and a notification panel popped up. Level 2 mana beast, demon corpse bug. Yi He drew his knife and laughed. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Ancheng. Number 3, E-rank secret realm. At that moment, Yi, he was clashing with the demon corpse bug. He glanced at the demon corpse bug and said, I've looked through the Mana Beast encyclopedia before. Compared to the tough iron-like armor on its back, the demon corpse bug's belly is obviously an easier weak point to break through. Just then, the beast curled into a ball and charged toward Yi He. He channeled power into his hands, creating a blue glow, and said, Martial Path. A beam of blue light shot from his hands toward the beast. The beast fired 2 rapidly spinning teeth at him. He watched them and thought, It can even shoot its teeth? He quickly leaned back, dodging the 2 fangs that flew towards him. Yi! He angrily shouted, a curse at the beast. You bastard! Do you have any idea how much this shirt costs? He glared at the beast and fell into deep thought. With my current martial arts level, I can't deal with a demon corpse bug after all. Without the support of powerful martial techniques, no matter how profound the martial energy in my dantian and my lifeblood is, I can't even unleash half of its power. It's all because the original owner of this body was too lazy. I guess I have no choice but to use my cheat. At that moment, veins popped around his eyes as he roared. Godzilla Bloodline Rampage. Activate. His eyes turned blue. An image of Godzilla appeared as his hands transformed into claws. The beast opened its huge mouth. Yee! He kicked off the ground and dashed towards it. Blue slash marks appeared on its body, and chunks of its hide were torn off along those lines. He passed right through its body. White steam radiated from his own as he said, "After my physique jumped to 21 points, dealing with a level 2 demon corpse bug is more than easy. To deactivate the transformation, I need to vent the thermal energy inside. My body feels like a jet engine." Yee! He looked at the new knife he'd bought and sighed. "My brand new blade is already corroded by the demon corpse bug's toxins. A $250,000 piece of equipment can't even handle a level 2 mana beast. What a ripoff. The quality is terrible. I have to file a complaint." He rubbed his growling stomach and said, "Man, hunting demonic beasts for the first time really takes a lot out of you. I'm starving, and I didn't even bring any rations." He caught a fragrant scent and exclaimed, "What's that smell? It's amazing." He looked at the magic stone and thought to himself, "This is a corpse worm's magic core, and it actually smells pretty appetizing." He popped the magic stone into his mouth, swallowed, and said, "Whatever." He swallowed the stone. It gradually dissolved, and the system's voice rang out. A green glow emitted from He's body. "Monster template compatibility has increased. He exclaimed joyfully. "I spent hundreds of thousands to buy a single potion, and it only improved my compatibility by 1%. But eating this one green magic stone raised it by 3%. If I ate 3 or 4 of these, wouldn't that be the same as one potion? That means the white magic stones from those saber-toothed rabbits must give at least 1% compatibility." Tears streamed down his face as he cried, "Damn it! All that money!" He touched his forehead with 2 glowing green fingers. "Time to turn this pain into motivation. Tonight, I, am going to hunt until I drop." Then, circles began to spread out around him. Life field activated. The system's voice echoed. "Frenzied Emperor Demon Wolf Template. Compatibility, 9%. Composite Physique, 158. He calmly stepped out of the gate. After his compatibility reached 9%, swallowing white magic stones no longer increased it. "Looks like I'll just have to sell them for cash." When the buyer saw the pile of magic stones, he exclaimed in shock, "A total of 20 white magic stones and 1 green one. Is this for real? You're just a high school student. How could you hunt this many?" He turned and walked away, leaving a trail of admiring glances. According to government regulations, martial artists must submit a portion of their harvest. For every green magic core obtained, 5 white ones must be submitted. At another gate, a group of people were gathered nearby, discussing something. "Lin," he said, "the last time we scouted this place, we managed to find the approximate location of the blood jade fruit. But since old Chen was injured by a monster, this time, he can't enter the secret realm with us." Lin, he asked, "So there are only 5 of us?" Xiao Yu put a hand on his shoulder and continued, "That's right, but the rules state you need at least 6 people to enter a D-rank secret realm." Lin, he turned and pointed to a young man in a hat, saying, "Don't worry, I already contacted an agent who introduced us to a new martial artist." He, picking his nose, pointed at Lin He. He thought to himself, "Since I'm still a student, I'm not qualified to enter a D-rank secret realm. I had to find a black market broker to create a fake identity just to join a team, and it cost me 100,000. Freaking black market." Lin He asked, "You must be He, the 9th Dan martial apprentice, right?" He replied, "That's me." Lin He said, He. "That name's a bit unfortunate." With a bored expression, he said, "Can't be helped, just say it however you want." The two stood facing each other. "Lin," he said, "Whatever, it's just an alias anyway. Your skill as a 9th level martial artist is all that matters." The team got in their vehicle and drove into the gate, emerging into a vast, sprawling desert. As the others chatted, he looked out the window boredly and thought, "Last time it was a tropical jungle, this time it's a desert. I guess these secret realms are nothing like the normal world, huh?" Just then, several monsters appeared behind them. Huadu shouted to the captain, "Captain, Earth demon rats, they're targeting us." The captain ordered, "Huadu, take care of them." He obeyed, turning around and swiftly throwing several daggers toward the monsters. The beasts were instantly eliminated, and the team continued speeding across the desert. Huadu turned back and said to the captain, "Done." He thought to himself. So his throwing dagger skill explodes like a bomb on impact. This guy is decisive, and a man of few words. Just then, a large oasis appeared at the end of the path. Everyone got out of the vehicle and started walking towards it. Yi, he asked. Why aren't we driving anymore? We're still pretty far from the oasis. Lin, he replied. Because the monsters in the oasis are extremely sensitive, the sound of the off-road vehicle would definitely alert them. Let's assign roles. Lin, he spoke up and gave tasks to the team members. Xiaoxia, in a bit, you'll use a stun grenade to lure that beast out. Xiaoyu, Hude, you two set up traps. Old Liu Yeji will hold it down, and I'll handle the frontal assault. He pointed at Yi and said, you stay on the sidelines and observe. Yi, he replied with a sigh, okay. At that moment, something glowing shot straight into the sky. It exploded, shattering into countless small pieces. The stun grenade contained high-level monster pheromones, making some monsters think their territory was being invaded, thus luring them out. A monster charged toward them. A second-tier demonic beast. An earth dragon. Everyone shouted warnings to each other. Newbie, be careful, the monster is here. The silhouette of a man walked past the spot where Huda had thrown his dagger. The man picked up the dagger. A bald man laughed and licked the blade. Other giant figures appeared. Lin He fought the demonic beasts all by himself. Just as he defeated it, two people ran up. One called out, Captain Lin. The other reported, the earth dragon has been dealt with. Lin, he smiled and put away his weapon. Let's go find the blood jade fruit. Suddenly, the claws of the beast lunged at him from behind. Captain Lin, watch out. Suddenly, someone leaped up. It was Yi He, with a cold expression. He then unleashed a pillar of power, striking the beast head on. Lin, he looked back, his face filled with fear. He thought to himself, he's only a first-dan martial apprentice, yet he can challenge the power of a second-tier monster? Xiaoxia ran over and said, that was an incredible move. Standing next to Yi He, Xiaoxia clapped and said, your tidal wolf mountain fist is seriously amazing. Xiao Yu put an arm around Yi He's shoulder and said, to think you could kill a second-tier demonic beast. Lin He watched from the side and said, thank you for saving me. From now on, we're friends. Standing in the middle, Yi, he replied calmly. It was nothing. Someone shouted, holding the blood jade fruit up high. I found it. The blood jade fruit. Xiaoxia pointed at the fruit and said, and we even got the earth dragon's crystal core this time. Not a bad haul. Xiao Yu, resting his hands on his thighs, looked up and asked, this bright red thing is really that valuable? Watching from a distance, Yi He's mouth watered as he thought. I think it's also called the Saintus fruit. Lin He laughed and said, even though it was a bit dangerous this time, we successfully defeated the earth dragon and found the blood jade fruit. Lin, he suddenly cried out. Hude had stabbed him from behind with a dagger and said, it doesn't matter what you think anymore, Captain Lin. At that moment, Xiao Yu and Xiaoxia screamed in unison. Captain Lin. Old Liu cried out, what's happening? Lin, he swung his arm back and asked, Hude, what are you doing? A tall figure walked up beside Hude and said, isn't it obvious what's going on here? Of course, he's found a way to strike it rich. A voice called out, Huo Peng. Yi, he turned to Xiao Yu and asked, do you guys know this bald guy? Xiao Yu clenched his fist and said, Huo Peng. That guy's a notorious robber. He robs martial artists of the spoils they find in the secret realms, and now he's targeting us. That bastard. Lin, he trembled with rage. There's poison on the dagger. Huda, you traitor. How did you know about this place? Even my own teammates only found out the location of the blood jade fruit after we entered the secret realm. Just then, Yi He remembered the throwing dagger. He concealed his aura on the dagger. Hude's expression changed. You're pretty smart, aren't you? Yi He, you must still be a student, right? The college entrance exams are coming up. Instead of studying properly at school, you just had to tag along with the black and white impermanence on this trip. Yi, he tilted his head back and replied coldly. That's right, the exams are coming up, and I'm really looking forward to taking the #1 spot. At that moment, Hude threw his weapon toward his opponent and yelled, arrogant. Yi, he blocked the throwing dagger with 2 fingers. A turncoat like you daring to bark in front of me. That's what's truly arrogant. Then, he crushed the weapon in his hand, so noisy. I want to take out this piece of trash. Huo Peng then craned his neck and said, you're an interesting one, kid. Huda, I want this kid's head. Hude immediately complied, attacking Yi He. Yi He braced himself, quickly forming a shield to block the attack. A second later, there was no one in front of Yi He. Someone shouted a warning, Yi He, be careful. Hude is gone. A moment later, Hude appeared, and the person yelled, he's above you. Yi, he quickly formed a seal in the middle of his forehead. Perfect. A chance to test out a skill I just learned. A second later, he controlled it to pierce through Hude's body. Primordial Earth Core Energy. Lin, he's jaw dropped. He killed Hude in a single move? Is he really just a martial apprentice? Yi, he blew the dust from his hand, coldly turning his back on Hude's falling corpse. Huo Peng pointed in astonishment. Gene Art. Which great family are you from? Ri, his silhouette flickered coldly as he revealed his form. Family, I'm from the Damara clan. Are you going to kneel and beg for your life? At that moment, Huopeng unleashed his power. You little brat, even if you have gene art, you can't possibly bridge this huge gap in martial power. A second later, a ferocious bear appeared behind him. Blood-activated frenzy, savage bear. His entire body swelled with muscle, and like a wild beast, he charged at Yi He, unleashing his mountain-shaking strike martial art. Yi. He ducked low to dodge the attack. First, I'll take out your legs. A second later, Huopeng's scream echoed, my leg. Just as his opponent raised his arm to attack, Yi He leaped high into the air, and Huopeng jumped up after him. He brought his two massive hands toward his opponent. A second-rank martial artist is truly on another level. Even my atomic energy breath couldn't dissolve his ankle. Huopeng's hands clapped together, as if swatting a mosquito. Suddenly, Yi He appeared from behind. Are you done? Now it's my turn. Yi He clenched his fist, which radiated a cold aura, and unleashed hundreds of continuous punches into Huopeng's body. He was beaten flat on the ground. The onlookers couldn't help but be amazed. Strong. He's so strong. Huopeng's face was twisted in pain. To think your gene art contains a type of poison. How despicable. A vile martial artist like you will surely be punished. I curse you. Yi. His face darkened, his eyes glowing. The number of people who've cursed me keeps growing. Who the hell do you think you are? The scene changes to the stadium in the center of Ancheng, where a major event is taking place. Hello students, this year's Martial Artist University entrance exam is about to begin. First, I'd like to wish you all prosperous martial fortunes. On the stage, the MC continued. The college entrance exam will use an arena format. Contestants will compete in pairs, with the winner advancing to the next round. The exam will last for 3 days, with the first 2 days being the preliminary rounds. High school students will participate in the exam on the 3rd day. Strange symbols appeared on a large screen. Each student in the preliminary round must compete in 3 matches. The students who advance to the qualifying rounds will continue to fight until this year's college entrance exam champion is chosen. The MC's face was full of excitement. You all carry the future of humanity, for yourselves and for all of mankind. Show us your true strength in this exam. I declare the Ancheng College entrance exam officially open. The scene cuts to arena number 1, where 2 contestants are charging at each other. Then it cuts to arena number 6, where another match is underway. Cutting back to arena number 6, there's only a single figure. The MC's voice rang out. It seems we have a problem at arena number 6. One of the contestants is late, and has not yet arrived. The MC adjusted his mic. Let me see. The 2 competitors are Wang Tongtong and Yi He, both from Ancheng First High. Right now, only Wang Tongtong is on the stage. According to the rules, if student Yi He is not present after the match begins, he will be considered to have forfeited. Tongtong stood with her hands on her hips and thought, humiliating me at the gene convention was the shame of a lifetime. I was planning on using my blazing lizard fluid to put Yi He in his place, but that weakling won't even show his face. What a buzzkill. In the stands, the crowd grew impatient. This is so annoying. Is he too scared to even come to the exam? He's probably at home shivering under a blanket. A guy like that doesn't even deserve to be in high school. He should be out sweeping the streets. Just then, the referee blew a whistle. Time's up. Yi He from Ancheng First High. Suddenly, the crowd below seemed to notice something. Something's coming this way. A man with a full beard said coolly, what a powerful aura. A bright green orb fell from the sky. Is that a person? Yi He with glowing blue eyes hurtled downward. How strong must he be to fly through the air like that? A second later, he landed forcefully on the ground, causing Tongtong to stumble back. She was a bit wary. What kind of trick is this? A moment later, something appeared in front of Tongtong, then sent her flying into the distance. Yi He covered his hand, feigning embarrassment. My bad. I almost showed up next year. Meanwhile, Tongtong lay unconscious on the ground. The MC's voice announced, Yi He wins. Hearing this, his face filled with confusion. I won. Just like that? The crowd immediately changed their tune. This Yi He is actually really strong. He took out his opponent with one kick, and his entrance was so cool. Could that be the legendary falling from the sky technique? Suddenly, a system notification appeared. Your body. Yi He's expression darkened as he thought. Team leader Lin gave me the blood jade fruit as thanks. It'll take some time for this fruit to improve my physique. Now, we can just sit back and watch the show. His ranking quickly shot up. In the next match, Yi He unleashed a kick. Long Dao of Ancheng, 4th High versus Yi He of Ancheng First High. Yi He wins. Then, he mercilessly kicks his opponent. Long Dao of Ancheng 3rd High versus Yi He of Ancheng First High. Yi He wins. The crowd roars with excitement. Yi He is so strong. Every match is settled with a single kick. He never drags it out. It's truly a Superman kick. Yi He clenches his fist. Yi He from Ancheng, first high, with 3 consecutive wins, advances to the 3rd qualifying round. The scene changes to a room where a voice calls out, "Student Yi He, you should check out Dongshan University." Suddenly, Yi He has a ton of fans. A girl says, "Student Yi He, join Singa Tin." Another person says, "Hey student, even though we're a private university, we offer generous scholarships and tuition assistance. Would you like to learn more?" Others crowd around. "Student Yi He, our university desperately needs a powerful martial artist like you." A man in green pushes through. "Student Yi He, do you have a university you've set your heart on?" Hearing this question, he turns around. "A university I've set my heart on?" Yi. He enthusiastically points to himself and says, "Sorry, but I'm aiming for Huadu University." A second later, the crowd disperses with a comment. "He's acting like this just for making it to the finals. Wait until he gets a reality check, then he'll come begging us." Student Yi, "Hey, if you fail, remember to contact me." Hearing this, he's taken aback. "Seriously? You guys have that little faith in me?" But he couldn't really blame them. Huadu University, the best martial arts school in the Xia Kingdom, and one of the top 5 globally, was a sacred place in the heart of every martial artist. He lets out a cunning smile. In a second-tier city like Ancheng, only a handful of the very top students were qualified to enter that sacred place. Well, martial artists have to let their strength do the talking anyway. After I win the championship, we'll see what you all have to say. Suddenly, 2 men walk in with cold expressions. "Student Yi He, please cooperate with us. We need to re-verify your martial artist level right now." The guard holds up the device, shocked. "9th stage martial disciple. Student Yi He, half a month ago, you were clearly only a 3rd stage martial disciple." Hearing this, he looks at them suspiciously. "It's impossible to improve that fast in just 3 short months. Are you implying that you suspect me of cheating?" The other man continues. "We discovered that after leaving school, you frequently visited an E-rank secret realm. Why would you go to such a dangerous place right before the exam?" Yi, he puts on an act, "So I could calm my mind. Before my father left, he left me with one saying. To surpass humanity, you must first abandon your humanity. So, I continuously went to the secret realm to fight. In every battle, I broke through my own genetic locks." His words leave the 2 men dumbfounded. "What? Did you say you broke through your genetic locks?" A second later, they run off, shouting, "This can't be ignored. We have to report this immediately." Hearing this, Yi He gets goosebumps. He has an unsettling feeling, as if he's suddenly become a special person of interest for no reason. Yi He sits watching an interview. The camera pans to a father. "Do your best, son." Then it moves to a mother. "Honey, just do your best. That's all that matters." The camera pans to another person. "Old Wang, once you get into a top 1 or top 2 university, we'll throw a celebration for you." Yi, he leans back and says, "They're even doing live interviews with the contestants' parents and relatives." He looks up and says, "Seems like there's no one cheering me on. I guess nobody really cares about an orphan." Elsewhere, his teacher is extremely worried. "Come on, Yi He, you can do it." On the stage, Yi, he looks coldly at his opponent. The MC's voice booms. In the first qualifying round, from Ancheng First High, Yi He faces off against Ancheng Third High's Luo Xuan. His opponent looks cocky. "It's Luo Xuan. I remember he's the top 3rd year at Third High." Big bro Luo Xuan is an 8th stage martial disciple who awakened a rare 2nd-tier magical beast bloodline. Both his parents are martial artists. His opponent is done for. Yi He scratches his neck and says nonchalantly, "You can make the first move." Hearing this, a vein pops on Luo Xuan's forehead. "Do you have any idea who I am? Whether I know or not doesn't change the outcome of this match." In the next second, he transforms. "You're not wrong. The outcome is that I will be the victor." A moment later, he lunges toward Yi He. "I hope you're lucky enough not to die right here." His claws get dangerously close to Yi He, only for Yi He to coldly block the attack. Impressive power, but it's still a far cry from that bald guy's impact. Luo Xuan's face turns pale. "My hand." In the next second, Yi He powerfully raises his arm, then uses his strength to slam his opponent down. Yi He flashes a demonic smile, not looking like a student contestant at all. The MC's voice rings out. Ancheng First High's Yi, he is the winner. Luo Xuan lies unconscious on the ground. It was another one-hit victory, and the one defeated was the number 1 seed, Luo Xuan. The crowd's shocked voices erupt. Holy crap, Luo Xuan looked so powerful. How did he end up on the ground in the blink of an eye? Yi He shoots to the top of the livestream rankings, carrying himself with the gentle demeanor of a master. His strength is on a completely different level from the other contestants. The gap is just too big. "He's so handsome. I want to have his babies." The crowd roars endlessly. Even though he used his hand this time, it was still just one move. "He's too strong. No wonder they call him the one-kick Superman. Yi He, I love you. Yi He will definitely make it to the finals. Luo Xuan is carried off on a stretcher as Chu Zhou coldly calls out his name. She frowns. Just as expected from the man I've set my sights on. I will defeat you in the finals. The scene cuts to the online admissions office of Huadu University. A man shouts, I want his complete file in half an hour. Elsewhere, the second round of promotion qualifiers is in full swing. A live comment pops up about the battle between the beautiful genius, Liu Qingzhu, who is competing under her real name, Tai Xiaoling, known as the Queen of Ancheng Second High. She points and says, Miss Liu, I really hate that robotic expression of yours. Liu Qingzhu stands silently opposite her. Liu Qingzhu, the Ice Queen of Ancheng First High. The comments explode. Let's go watch the pretty girls fight. All you thirsty guys, calm down. The buzzer sounds, and the match begins. Xiaoling rushes toward her opponent. All right, let's see how well you can hold up after I slam you to the ground. Qingzhu coldly executes a move. Liu family secret art, Fubi Xuan. The force wraps around Xiaoling's leg. The next second, she flings her away. Xiaoling retaliates like a wild beast. Get serious with me. Just as she does, Qingzhu attacks again. Xiaoling grows worried. Crap, I fell for it. She panics, her hand caught tightly in a wave of energy, unable to pull free. A second later, a surge of power slashes across Xiaoling's face. Witnessing this, the MC shouts excitedly, a Xuanhuang level martial art. A high school student has actually mastered a Xuanhuang level martial art? That kind of talent is unbelievable. No longer needs to prove herself by passing the college entrance exam. She might even get directly admitted into Huadu University. A ferocious tiger appears behind Tai Xiaoling, and it powerfully lunges towards Liu Qingzhu. The announcer's voice booms. This young lady unexpectedly possesses a third-tier royal bloodline, the Phantom Tiger King. Royal-level bloodlines are extremely difficult to control, let alone the notoriously violent Phantom Tiger. This young lady has a limitless future. Tai Xiaoling says tauntingly, hurry up and release your Nether Sparrow bloodline. Liu Qingzhu coldly replies, this is enough. Her words infuriate Tai Xiaoling. This is enough? You think you can beat me with martial arts alone? The next second, the two clash fiercely. Liu Qingzhu easily parries her opponent's attack. Tai Xiaoling aims a kick at her opponent's lower body. Liu Qingzhu's eyes flash as she effortlessly blocks the attack. The two fight like a whirlwind. The announcer's dramatic voice rings out. The auras of Liu Qingzhu and Tai Xiaoling are clashing violently. The arena is covered in dust. In the stands, the crowd looks on in confusion. Who on earth is the winner? Moments later, Tai Xiaoling's stiff face becomes visible through the dust. It's Tai Xiaoling. She's still standing in the arena. The announcer's voice hesitates. Wait a minute. Tai Xiaoling's eyes glaze over. The announcer's voice shouts with emotion. Tai Xiaoling's strength is depleted. She's collapsing. And yet, Liu Qingzhu is still on her feet. Liu Qingzhu stands coldly amidst the announcer's commentary, having defeated Tai Xiaoling, using only her martial skills. Both are 9th Dan martial artists, but you've awakened a royal-level bloodline. No wonder you're called a once-in-a-century genius. Liu Qingzhu wins. The comments start flooding in. Goddess Liu is so strong. She's amazing. Another person comments, I told you, she's the top scorer of Ancheng. Who could possibly compete with that? Someone upstairs said she's the #1 top scorer in Ancheng City. Do you guys know what her awakened bloodline is? It's the Nether Sparrow, a 4th-tier bloodline. A comment pops up. A 4th-tier bloodline? What kind of monster is she? Most martial artists wouldn't stand a chance against her. A large sign displays the words, Tournament of the 8 Kings, drawing lots. Yi He stands coldly before the lottery table. A comment from below reads, it's Yi He, from Ancheng #1 High School. He's drawing his lot. Just then, he draws card A. A tall, muscular young man, holding card A in his hand, speaks up. I also got card A. Looks like we're fighting each other. My name is Shen Guan, from Qingfeng Private High School. Yi. He listens and replies coldly. Yi. Ancheng #1 High. Shen Guan then points to the side and says, we're in the second match, so let's watch their first match first. The announcer's voice suddenly rings out. The first match of the promotion quarterfinals is Luo Su from Qingfeng Private High School versus Chu Zhou from Ancheng #1 High School. Chu Zhou stands coldly on the large screen. Shen Guan says, Luo Su is very formidable. He's a student who was held back, trying hard to get into Huadu University this year, so he's extremely proficient in mastering his awakened bloodline. But against that Chu Zhou, he has absolutely no chance of fighting back. Chu Zhou's cold face appears on screen. Yi He repeats the opponent's name. Shen Guan immediately replies, that's right. He's also from our Ancheng #1 High. You mean you don't know him? Just as he finishes speaking, the announcer's voice cuts in. Ancheng #1 High's Chu Zhou is the winner. Over on the side, the principal of Qingfeng Private High School is shaking with anger. Damn it. We lost the very first match. At this moment, Yi He turns to ask Shen Guan, how does that Luo Su compare to you? He scratches his head and laughs. Compared to me, I'm the top martial artist of Qingfeng Private High School. In terms of combat strength, the other two companions combined couldn't defeat me. The next second, his eyes suddenly narrow. Actually, in this college entrance exam, I think you are my strongest opponent. Shen Guan scans his opponent up and down. I've had sharp senses since I was a child. I can feel it, Yi He. You're like a dormant volcano, with a giant beast slumbering inside your body. Back in the present, Shen Guan smiles, points, and says, let's go. It's our turn. The two quickly step onto the arena stage. The announcer's voice begins. The second match of the promotion quarterfinals. The two fighters, with a clear difference in physique, face each other. It's Shen Guan, from Qingfeng Private High School, versus Yi He, from Ancheng No. 1 High School. Under the stage lights, the announcer's voice booms. The martial arts quarterfinals of the Ancheng University entrance exam are heating up. The two are locked in a fierce struggle. Yi He versus Shen Guan. Their strengths seem to be evenly matched. The light from their power forces the crowd to shield their eyes. Shen Guan grits his teeth and says, not bad. Is this the power of your bloodline? His aura flares as he continues. It's truly strange. To be able to directly target and destroy cells. Meanwhile, Yi He thinks to himself, Shen Guan has used his martial aura to create a shield around his body. The nuclear radiation is being blocked. His eyes light up. What incredible martial arts. This guy in front of me is a monster worth conquering. Shen Guan immediately unleashes a surge of power. In that case, I'll let you witness the martial arts passed down through my Shen family. A massive serpent opens its jaws wide. It looks like Xing Yi Quan. A second later, he throws two fists. Instantly, He's expression changes. He thinks to himself, so fast. A powerful punch aims straight for his stomach as the announcer's voice cries out, incredible. Yi He, the man known as the one-kick wonder, has been hit for the first time. The blow makes Yi He spit out a bit of blood, a testament to just how powerful Shen Guan's Xing Yi Quan is. He stumbles back, clutching his stomach, but Shen Guan doesn't let up, lunging forward and shouting, where do you think you're going? The much smaller He blocks the attack, gritting his teeth. He thinks, Shen Guan isn't just using physical attacks, he's infusing his martial aura into his body, causing double the damage. His previous opponents were all weaklings, so he's never fought against such a strong and experienced martial artist. Just as he's lost in thought, a hand wraps around him from behind. Shen Guan appears, powerfully gripping Yi He by the neck. You're half right. I don't just infuse my techniques into my body, I can also lock yours, leaving you completely unable to use your skills. Then, Shen Guan coldly throws his opponent high into the air, leaping up to send Yi He flying. He relentlessly attacks his opponent. Yi He raises his arms to cover his face. Shen Guan's voice rings out, Yi He, you can't win against me. Next, a pillar of energy crashes down. Shen Guan lets out a hearty laugh as the announcer shouts, Shen Guan has unleashed a series of moves that has left Yi He with no way to fight back. Two medics quickly appear on the scene, and the medical team on the sidelines is ready to rush in. That last combination of Xing Yi Quan techniques from Shen Guan would have taken half the life out of even an ordinary martial artist. It seems the winner has been decided. Qingfeng Private High School wins. Wait, the smoke is starting to clear. Suddenly, Luo Su became wary. A powerful figure appeared, its aura incredibly strong. A claw emerged, and He spoke up. You're truly powerful, Shen Guan. He leaped out, his bloodline awakened, his eyes glowing. As a reward for being the first to witness me in this form, the MC's intensely surprised voice rang out, it's a true beast form. I never expected to see one in a small place like Ancheng. Besides Liu Qingju, the martial arts prodigy, we have a bloodline genius as well. Luo Su's eyes were filled with astonishment. A true beast form. As He approached, Luo Su said, for your bloodline to awaken and reach such a high standard. The MC's commentary grated on the long-bearded old man. Each judge was equipped with monitoring headsets to keep track of the contestants. His expression suddenly changed as he saw the core's power value. What's going on? The core radiation is off the charts. A massive orb appeared. The MC announced, it seems the judges have detected a problem with Yi He's true beast form. The crowd immediately broke into discussion. Is that really Yi He's awakened bloodline? It's so cool. Does anyone know which demonic beast's bloodline he awakened? I'm from First High. I heard his awakened bloodline is an unknown type. How can such a powerful demonic beast be unknown? His eyes were filled with judgment. It seems this blue star doesn't have the Demola species. No wonder they don't recognize it. Luo Su's nose began to bleed again. It seemed his weapon's protective barrier could no longer withstand He's energy. Looks like I can't drag this out with him. He immediately awakened his own demonic beast. The MC's voice boomed. Another Tier 3 King rank Bloodline. This year's college entrance exam is truly a gathering of elites. Yi, he gave his opponent a cold look. The two quickly charged at each other, unleashing a blast of blue energy. Luo Su's arm throbbed with pain. If I hadn't managed to disperse that impact in time, my entire arm would have been shattered. He had been so cocky before, and now he was eating his words. Yi, he advanced and said, "You're already very impressive, Shenguan, but unfortunately, that won't change the outcome." Luo Su gritted his teeth. True beast form. Luo Su and Yi He were locked in a stalemate, and the MC's voice rang out once more. In the second match of the quarterfinals for this year's exam, we've unexpectedly seen a Tier 3 King rank Bloodline appear. And what's more, his opponent possesses a powerful, unknown, demonic beast bloodline. This is truly a rare sight. Luo Su's mind was in turmoil. Yi He's strength after awakening was truly unfathomable. He had no way of outskilling him in martial techniques. Right now, I can only retreat to advance. At that moment, Yi, he suddenly charged. "Don't let your guard down, big guy." He lunged forward, aiming his claws right at his opponent. Luo Su countered, his arm wrapping around his opponent's. Slipping behind him, Luo Su said, "As expected, I can't pull you off balance. But my goal was just to get behind you." He then leaped high into the air. Yi, he stood his ground as a massive pillar of light shone down on him. Luo Su's leg came crashing down with the force of a temple pillar. A moment later, he landed back on the ground, his eyes suddenly frozen for a few seconds. Yi, he stood there coldly, arms crossed. A second later, he lifted one leg and said, "Now, it's my turn." Yi, he gathered his power, and a strong blue light emerged. Just as he was about to charge, Luo Su suddenly dropped to his knees. Then, he bowed his head and said, "Brother Yi, I surrender." Yi, he was so stunned, his jaw dropped. "Big bro, I was all charged up and ready to go, and you pull a stunt like this? This is really unsatisfying, you know?" A moment later, he relaxed his hands. Forget it. He let out a loud burp and said, "Holding all that energy in feels terrible." He then reverted to his human form. After all, according to the rules, once one side surrenders, the other is not allowed to attack. Just then, the MC's voice rang out, "The match is over. From Oncheng's first high, Yi He is the winner." The crowd of fans went wild. "Brother Yi is a beast. Brother Yi is so beastly. Brother Yi is amazing." Online, people were commenting non-stop about the match. His picture quickly shot to the top of the trending charts. The Yi He fan club was at the top, under the name XXXXX. The first 3 fan groups were already full. All the fights were meticulously recorded. To watch all of Yi He's college entrance exam matches, follow me. His spectacular moves were going viral online. This year's top scorer in the college entrance exam is definitely our brother Yi. That Liu Qingzhu from Chuzhou is no match for brother Yi. Over at the seats for the Qingfeng private leadership, the head was blowing his top. He lost. Just like that? "I bet everything on Shenguan," he roared, pointing a finger at Luo Su. "How dare you surrender? Do you have any idea how much money we spent to train you? You're nothing but an ungrateful wolf. If you don't pay back every penny, you can forget about going to college." Suddenly, Luo Su placed a heavy hand on the man's shoulder. "You, what do you think you're doing?" Luo Su looked at him and said, "I couldn't have taken that next blow. I had to surrender to avoid permanent damage to my foundation. If I hadn't, would you have been willing to go up there and take that hit for me? As for the money you spent training me, I will pay it back slowly over time. But you should know that you can't threaten a martial artist who is stronger than you." At these words, the man's face turned pale. Fine. You have a point." On the big screen, the 4 strongest contestants appeared as the MC made an announcement. After intense competition, the top 4 for this year's college entrance exam have been officially revealed. Oncheng's first high has emerged as the biggest winner. Out of 4 spots, they've claimed 3. Over at the Oncheng First High leadership section, the head was grinning from ear to ear. It seems old Lu has dedicated so many years to this school. It's about time he got a promotion. The teachers from First High were celebrating. "Yi, he is amazing," the MC's voice rang out again. "Below, we will now begin the drawing for the semi-final round." Yi, he looked on, dejected. Bracket A again. Suddenly, Qingju held up her lot and said, "I'm also in bracket A." A moment later, the MC announced, "For the first semi-final match of the college entrance exam, it's an Oncheng First High Civil War. Yi He versus Liu Qingzhu." Hearing this, the online comments exploded. I've been wanting to see them fight for ages. The greatest battle in the history of Oncheng's college entrance exam. Go, Goddess Liu. Yi He gave his opponent a worried look. Qingzhu was full of anticipation for the battle. The most anticipated duel ever. Brother Yi will definitely win. Qingzhu stood there coolly, surrounded by her unique energy. Above poster, "I feel like Goddess Liu has a higher chance of winning." News has already leaked that she's mastered 2 Xuanhuang-level martial techniques. With just those, she completely crushed Tai Xiaoling, another Tier 3 king rank, and Tai Xiaoling's Tier 3 Nether Sparrow bloodline hadn't even fully awakened yet. On the other hand, Yi, he is no slouch either. But Shen Guan was also a Tier 3 king rank, and Yi He pushed him so hard, he was forced to awaken his bloodline. Even so, it seems Yi He's own bloodline is of an extremely high rank. He's probably also from the 4th family's bloodline. But compared to Goddess Liu, who not only shares that bloodline but also has a profound martial arts foundation, he's simply no match. All the comments online were in agreement. The scene shifts to the semi-final arena, where the crowd is roaring relentlessly, their voices filled with the excitement of betting. From Ancheng First High, Liu Qingzhu. From Ancheng First High, Yi He, the referee immediately shouted, "Let the match begin." Yi He stood there coldly, his hands tucked in his pockets. Liu Qingzhu was taken aback by his aura and power, forced to shield her face. Within the dust cloud, 2 glowing eyes appeared, startling Qingzhu. Her eyes showed intense concentration. "Yi He, I hope you're strong enough." For Yi He versus Liu Qingzhu, the match was just beginning. Suddenly, Yi He unleashed a massive amount of true qi, engulfing the entire stage. Voices echoed from the stands. "What's going on? What's happening? I can't see a thing." The Liu family's genius, Liu Qingzhu, is facing this year's dark horse of the university tournament, Yi He. How will she handle this? Let's wait and see. Could Yi He have already awakened his bloodline? Inside the white mist, Yi He gazed at the dark silhouette, deep in thought. In terms of skill, Liu Qingzhu is far beyond me. Thanks to those incredible martial techniques, it doesn't matter how much raw power I have, there's no way I can land a hit on her. His eyes were unwavering. This kind of martial arts prodigy also has an extremely high intellect. The longer this fight drags on, the worse it'll be for me. I have to give it my all from the very first strike. With that thought, he immediately unleashed the mountain-pulling fist, throwing a punch straight ahead. Across from him, Qingzhu crossed her hands. "Attacking first, are you? In that case, I'll use a defensive martial aura to counter." Yi, he powerfully lowered his head. When she saw his attack, Qingzhu let out a slight sneer. "How dirty! He's using a trick." The movement was incredibly smooth. He feinted with a fist, but ended up using the steel whip. A gaping maw filled with countless sharp teeth opened wide as Yi, he descended from the sky, ready to strike. As Qingzhu raised both hands to defend, a few comments popped up on the screen. "That damn Yi He, using a sneak attack. He has no martial honor. Poor Goddess Liu. In a real fight, all's fair in war." It seemed Yi He now had the advantage. This is bad. Goddess Liu's rhythm has been thrown off by his aura. Qingzhu took a direct hit to her torso. Yi He's assault was relentless, leaving Liu Qingzhu with absolutely no room to escape. He crossed his arms and used his martial aura to blast Liu Qingzhu back, finally giving her a chance to retreat. Just as a sharp claw appeared, Qingzhu quickly whipped her head around. "You think it's that easy?" And just like that, she evaded the powerful strike. Qingzhu's eyes widened. The wind from the claw was imbued with martial aura. She pushed herself upward to dodge the glowing attack. An explosion erupted from where the light had been. But then, Yi He suddenly appeared right in front of her, grinning. "Don't run now, classmate Liu." He then unleashed a barrage of attacks on Qingzhu. As she blocked with both arms, she thought to herself, this kind of high-intensity assault, isn't he getting tired? His stamina is insane. I possess 2 Xuanhuang-level martial techniques. One is the defensive secret art of the Liu family, floating flower, transforming shadow. The thoughts raced through her mind. The other is the offensive soul origin jade finger. If I could just use one of them, I could break free from Yi, he's relentless chase. Qingzhu now stood right on the edge of the fighting stage. But damn it, Yi he isn't giving me a single opening. I can't hold out much longer. I'm going to fall off the stage and lose. Her pink eyes showed no hesitation. There's no other choice. At that moment, feathers began sprouting from her skin. Yi. He watched intently as her eyes suddenly shifted to a brilliant purple. I have no choice but to use my last resort. Her bloodline awakened, and the form of the nether sparrow gradually took shape. Then, a figure shot high into the sky, spreading its wings as feathers fluttered down. Qingzhu emerged in a completely new form. It was her bloodline awakening. This was the first time Liu Qingzhu had ever showcased her demonic beast bloodline, Nether Sparrow. She spoke in a low, solemn voice. "Classmate Yi, you need to be careful. In this form, I can't control the strength of my attacks." But Yi, he simply grinned, completely unafraid. "Is that right? Well, that's all I needed to hear. Because up until now, I've only been using 50% of my strength. From here on out, I'm going all out," he growled. In the air behind him, the hovering Qingzhu used her Xuanhuang martial technique, the soul origin jade finger. In response, Yi He, refusing to back down, wore a thrilled expression. Atomic burst fist. The two forces, one green and one purple, collided with fierce intensity. The clash left everyone in the stands breathless. So powerful. It's too strong. The attacks are so intense, I can't even keep my eyes open. High in the air, Qingzhou shielded her face from the opponent's powerful energy wave. Her violet-pink eyes caught sight of something. Directly in front of her, a hulking figure with bulging muscles had appeared. Its eyes burned brightly, its mouth hanging wide open. This was the first semi-final of the university tournament. A bead of sweat ran down Qingzhou's cheek. This level of energy fluctuation, this is not good. The announcer's powerful voice boomed through the stadium. What is happening? Yi, his true demonic beast form appears to be charging up an attack. The announcer continued to narrate the unfolding events. A blinding light was gathering inside, slowly converging toward Yi-He's mouth. His opponent bent forward slightly and unleashed the prime martial breath. As a dazzling beam of light engulfed Qingzhou's entire body, she shielded her body with her wings. After a moment, Qingzhou slowly opened her eyes. Her potential had been awakened. Just then, a powerful green beam shot directly toward her. Qingzhou scrambled to use her feather shield reflection technique as the announcer's voice continued to ring out. Oh no! Yi-He's breath attack is being reflected by Liu Qingzhou's feathers. The sight sent a wave of panic through some members of the crowd. Countless honeycomb-like golden fragments of light filled the air, with several green beams piercing through from one side, and it was the same on the other. At that moment, Ancheng's mayor, Huang Jing, slowly materialized. He said in a low voice, "Watch carefully. Today, the strongest champion Ancheng has ever known will be born." Seeing this, the announcer became incredibly excited. It's a good thing Mayor Huang is here to protect the audience. Blood dripped steadily onto the stage floor, where Qingzhou stood exhausted, her clothes in tatters and her knees buckling. Her eyes fluttered open and closed, a trickle of blood staining her lips. He shattered my Nether Sparrow's defenses in a single blow. Can I really win against him? A memory from her childhood surfaced, a voice echoing in her mind. Liu Qingzhou, you are the hope for the revival of the Liu family. You cannot lose. All the generations of Liu family ancestors are watching you. Don't disappoint us. But Liu Qingzhou could only stammer. The white-haired woman was also pressuring her. Liu Qingzhou, I used everything to raise you so that one day you could revive our Liu family. You are not allowed to be willful. This made Liu Qingzhou hesitate. The mother and daughter argued back and forth. You must not only win this match, but you must keep winning from now on. But mother, I can't breathe anymore. Her eyes were filled with anxiety and confusion. I'm so tired. Looking at her opponent, she observed, Yi, he is really strong. His expression doesn't show any emotion. Facing an opponent this powerful, it's only natural that I can't win. Right? Then, Liu Qingzhou quickly rushed forward to attack, revealing an opening. Maybe Yi, he can catch it? Just finish me off already. When she struck his chest, Liu Qingzhou was utterly shocked. Why didn't you dodge? Yi, he then replied nonchalantly. Liu Qingzhou, why have you lost your will to fight? His words stunned her. Meanwhile, Yi, he whispered, are you even going to fight me seriously? He raised his fist and swung it powerfully. I became the top scholar by fighting fair and square. But Liu Qingzhou was still in shock. And Yi, he didn't stop, punching her straight in the face. He slightly opened his palm, warning her, get serious for me. Then Yi, he attacked relentlessly, asking, are you going to get serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? At this, Liu Qingzhou couldn't take it anymore and screamed, you bastard. No one has ever dared to hit me like this in my entire life. She lowered her head, covering her face as she continued. I was obviously trying to hand you the victory, so why won't you let it go? All my strength is gone. Don't hit a woman in the face, you damn bastard. But Yi remained completely cold. Exactly. If you don't want to get hit in the face, then get serious for me. At this, Liu Qingzhou finally used her forbidden technique, human blood art, true demon beast form. Lightning crackled in her eyes. Yi, as you wish. I will attack you in my strongest state. Yi, he watched as Liu Qingzhou descended towards him. He had probably been waiting for this moment for a long time. So you've finally revealed your true demon beast form? Now this is interesting. Yi, he also quickly unleashed his power. If that's how it's going to be, then I can't hold back either. This technique is called hard qigong. It's a combat style that combines hard qigong with Yi's demon beast model, the Imperial Demon Rock, and is called the Core Light combat style. He even issued a challenge. Let's have a real satisfying fight. Liu Qingzhou was no longer willing to back down. She unleashed the wind's rending tear, a move that could blow anything away. The battle had now become intense, with the two strongest fighters clashing. Swift as the wind, Yi switched to the explosive fist style. Liu Qingzhou seemed to have a plan, drawing all the evil energy into her mouth. Like a madwoman, she then unleashed all of that terrifying power. The two of them, one above and one below, were giving their all to take each other down. He angrily stood his ground to unleash an even more terrifying power. Yi, his eyes were filled with calculation. You think you're the only one who can summon it? A current of electricity shot towards her, causing the ground to crack into pieces. But Liu Qingju was no pushover. She gathered all the strength she possessed. It's that same move again. This time, I won't back down. Dropping her defenses, she unleashed the Liu family's strongest technique. She promised herself, I will face you head on. Liu Qingju used the atomic breath technique to destroy everything. She was like a madwoman trying to wreak havoc. Bloodline power. Liu Qingju continuously launched fatal blows. A weaker opponent would have been defeated instantly. Nether Bloodthorn. The powers on both sides were about to clash, and it was impossible to tell who would emerge victorious. He's atomic breath, and Liu Qingju's Nether Bloodthorn created two ferocious attacks. The spectators discussing the match were more excited than anyone. This is bad. If those powers collide, it's not something those two martial artists can control. Inside the arena, he thought of another way, to sit still and cultivate until he succeeded. Genetic art. A magic formation was deployed. Divine leyline wall. This might be able to defeat the opponent. The stone slabs couldn't hold up under the pressure of such powerful forces. The spectators outside also had to admit that the force of this impact was immense. Was that wall just now created by the mayor? Does the mayor want to stop their attacks? If the mayor hadn't intervened, I'm afraid we all would have been affected. Even Huang Jing seemed to be pondering something. The three divine leyline walls had been prepared too hastily, so they weren't as sturdy as usual. In the end, the attacks from Yi He and Liu Qingju still managed to collide. Who could have imagined that this year's college entrance exam would have two candidates whose power was so far beyond imagination? Blood dripped from Liu Qingzu's hand. She clutched her injured arm in pain. The power of her true demon blood beast form was depleted. I can't give up. I can still fight. Just then, His footsteps drew closer. His silhouette was truly towering. He felt that Liu Qingzu's powered-up form was not to be underestimated. She was his equal. My attack clearly hit him. So how is he completely uninjured? He then spoke up to warn her, if the nuclear radiation on your body isn't removed, you could be crippled in the future. Liu Qingzu trembled when she heard the terrifying consequences. She angrily looked up, her eyes filled with tears. I never wanted to fight you at this level. Why did you drag me into this fight? He quietly sat down to face her. He enunciated every word clearly for Liu Qingzu to hear. Do you really not want to fight me? Or are you just being rebellious and refusing to admit that you're competitive? When I was risking my life against you just now, I could feel your desire to win. Now, she couldn't argue anymore. As she thought it over, she realized he was right. He's not wrong. A moment ago, I really did want to beat him. That's why I dropped my defenses and launched an all-out attack. But, what's wrong with me? I obviously hate fighting. I just wanted to beat him quickly. But, during that battle, I actually felt a kind of joy in fighting. Not for anyone else, but just for myself. He gently tucked a strand of hair behind Liu Qingju's ear, making her blush completely red. He placed his hand on her shoulder. When you fight, your mind is filled with too many distracting thoughts. That is why you failed. Hearing this, Liu Qingju held out her hand to take a closer look. The wound and the radiation on his arm were already much better, but you're still the strongest opponent I've ever faced. Next time, if there's a chance, I'd really like to have a pure one-on-one duel with you. Liu Qingju's eyes widened in surprise. Classmate Yi He, the mist has cleared. It's Yi He. You're still standing on the stage. The semi-final match has concluded. Yi He, from Ancheng First High, is the winner. After Yi He defeated Liu Qingju, Chu Zhou also won his match, just as expected. The biggest highlight of the Ancheng College entrance exam, the battle for the championship, is about to begin. This is a fiery clash between Yi He and Chu Zhou of Ancheng First High. The number of live viewers for this match has been climbing non-stop. The final match of the Ancheng College entrance exam now begins. Chu Zhou wore a cold expression. Please, give me your best. He was also in a ready stance. Bring it on. He shot through countless barriers, launching himself forward as if he were ascending to the heavens. He stood there waiting without hesitation, his posture proud, fearing no one. If their powers were to combine, they would become a terrifying force, capable of destroying anything. The moment Chu Zhou got close, He quickly used his explosive fist to blast everything away at top speed. He desperately tried to dodge, to avoid getting hurt. He couldn't be bothered to find his opponent's real body, so he used a simple, brute force technique to bombard all the clones. Chu Zhou tried to find a way to fight back. My defenses are basically useless against He's destructive power. It's safe to say. Among those our age, is there really any martial artist who can fight He in close combat? What an absolute monster. If there's no way to get close and fight you, then I'll just wear you down from a distance. He decided to use his awakened bloodline ability, summoning a fire-breathing dragon. Chuzhou was very confident in his bloodline power. This is a bloodline power. This ice vein will take you down if you're not careful. People were already commenting, praising him for this match. Chuzhou actually managed to create an entire mountain of ice. This kind of freezing power is truly like a living demon dragon. Chuzhou is so cool. Yi. His fans also spoke up to cheer him on. Defeat the great demon king, Yi He. Go for it, ice making bro. Right now, Chuzhou's ice vein power has formed a mountain of ice on the stage. Yi. He has been frozen inside the ice mountain. Chuzhou was also running out of stamina. Mobilizing such a powerful freezing ability was taking a toll on his body. Look, the ice mountain is starting to melt. That block of ice has been shattered, releasing a wave of power. His eyes went wide, unable to believe what he was seeing. How is this possible? How could it be broken so easily? Chuzhou tried to control the power rushing towards him. Everything exploded in a brilliant flash. Such a powerful block of ice was shattered in an instant. Yi. He stopped in his tracks. Your ice demon dragon power has no effect on me. His body was covered in icy smoke. It seems I counter you in every single way. It reached the point where even Chuzhou had to admit defeat. The difference in our strength is just too great. Yi He, take this final blow of mine. This move is the current limit of my martial arts. I was originally saving it for Liu Qingju. He became more frenzied than ever, channeling all his power to use the soul-shattering sword intent. Huang Jing had been observing the match from the sidelines. That's sword intent. How old is he to have such power already? Chuzhou surged forward, wanting to bring his full might down on his opponent. Drops of blood, from who knows where, started to fall. Yi, he already had his own plan. Wait until you get a better sword, then maybe you'll have a slight chance. He suddenly noticed something. A fragment of a sword fell to the ground. My sword. It shattered. Chuzhou looked at Yi He with a scornful gaze and asked, how great of a chance? He laughed cheerfully. A little better than a simp's chance of success. Then, Chuzhou raised his arm to concede. I surrender. The final match of the Ancheng College entrance exam, Yi He is the winner. Upon hearing this news, his fan club erupted in screams. I knew I wasn't wrong. Yi He is so awesome. Even though Chuzhou is really strong, he's just no match for Yi He. Yi He, this dark horse, truly went all the way. I heard he was at the bottom of his class last year, and now he defeated the top student to become the champion. So inspiring. The standards for this year's college entrance exam were much higher than previous years, and he still managed to overcome this challenge. Yi He is definitely the strongest champion Ancheng has ever had. No one will be able to surpass him for a long time. Yi He's fan base grew day by day, and they were willing to stand and wait just to see him. The commentators for the match were even more excited. To all the audience members here, and those watching the live stream of this year's Ancheng 24 College Entrance Exam, after 3 days of fierce battles, the martial arts champion of the Ancheng College Entrance Exam has finally been decided. He is Yi He of Ancheng First High. He was then interviewed. Classmate Yi He, I hear your power is the result of long-term accumulation and development. Now that you've won the championship, is there anything you'd like to say? Yi, he thought to himself. As expected of someone with a way with words. They even made my use of brute force sound so sophisticated. Before speaking, he cleared his throat. First of all, I have to thank my teacher. He was the one who didn't give up on me when I was at my lowest, who encouraged me. That's how I found the motivation to keep fighting. His teacher, watching on a screen, was so moved he hugged himself. I really don't deserve your praise, Yi He. I was just a teacher who didn't want to lose his job. I failed to recognize your potential, and I truly feel guilty about it. Even the principal is here, and me too. Yi. He was completely shocked. He never would have imagined the principal would be here. The principal raised his hand and gestured, 2 million, Yi He. Do a little promotion for our Ancheng First High. I'll give you a $2 million scholarship. As soon as Yi He saw the money, his eyes lit up. I also have to thank my school. Thank you to my principal. Without your brilliant leadership, how could we have achieved what we have today? Finally, I want to thank myself. Without my own hard work and intelligence, Yi He absolutely could not have achieved today's glory. Congratulations, host, on obtaining the title of champion. Reward: 1 random monster template draw. He had no idea he would receive such a great reward, the champion title. So you can also get monster templates from system achievements. At that moment, in the stadium corridor, the fans were going wild. He's coming out. It's classmate Yi He. Do you feel any pressure after winning the championship this time? How did you get so strong so quickly in just half a year? Yi He. Are you planning to go to Huadu University? He got scared and ran away. Stop following me, I need to use the bathroom. Someone even ran up and asked him directly, Student Yi He, who do you think is prettier, Liu Qingju or Tai Shaoling? Or do you like Shen Guan or Chu Zhou? Yi He really didn't want to answer questions like these, so he quickly made a run for it. I don't have time to waste on these reporters. Student Yi, wait a second. Student Yi, I just have one last question. At the basketball court, the morning light shone beautifully. Yi could finally let out a sigh of relief, thinking he had finally escaped those reporters. So the monster templates aren't unique. I can't believe I can also get them through the system's reward draw. Just as he finished speaking, a figure appeared. Student Yi. Congratulations on becoming the top scorer. For a moment, he froze. Another reporter? The man took off his hat and explained, Don't get me wrong, I'm not a reporter. I'm from Huadu. Next, let's talk about the matter of the gene lock. He had never heard of this before. A gene lock? I haven't unlocked any gene lock. All of my abilities come from monster templates. Could this person know about my powers? Who is he? Really? The man asked Yi. A question. Did you hear about this gene lock from your father? He immediately answered, That's right. Based on the original owner's memories, that was the case. The man then took some kind of paper out of his bag. Student Yi. Aren't you curious how your father, an ordinary taxi driver, knew a term so completely unrelated to his profession? He looked at the man suspiciously. Could he be some kind of master? Then, the man held out the document to him. Because your situation is special. Huadu has decided to declassify a portion of a top-secret file for you. He opened it and examined it carefully. It was about a biological gene research institute on Blue Star that was once a titan in its field. But due to a certain incident, the entire research institute was sanctioned and became wanted by all nations. A large number of its core researchers were forced to go into hiding and live secretly within the city. The gene lock technology was the key project of the former Daybreak organization. Yi could no longer remain calm. You're telling me my convenient new father was a high-level researcher for Daybreak, and I'm the result of Daybreak's secret research project? The man tried to reassure him. Don't worry, the country won't give you any trouble. I'm just here to make you aware of the situation. After all, you're involved and have the right to know. He could tell this guy was worrying too much. Bro, believe it or not, I'm calmer than you are right now. The man continued to explain. Furthermore, you're a key candidate for national cultivation. We will always ensure your safety. He had been holding back his laughter for a while now. This is so annoying. The more famous you are, the more attention and trouble you attract. This society really runs on power. The man finally said his goodbyes. Well then, I'll be on my way. He had been waiting for this moment. He's finally gone. This time, he had scored quite well on the college entrance exam. Not only did he get a ticket into Huadu University, but he also received a 2 million scholarship from the principal, plus an 800,000 prize money. Of course, the most important thing was that he could now draw a new monster ability template. He excitedly started the draw. I can't wait any longer. Above him, a mystical circle appeared. He stared in amazement at the sight. It was a circle that could mesmerize anyone who looked at it. He was now facing a strange monster form. It was a D-rank template. D-rank ability template. Personified Colossal Titan. Bloodline ability. 60-meter gigantification. High heat steam. Advanced form. Elemental personification. This was the first time he had heard this name. Personified Colossal Titan. Abilities from different templates can be stacked. What would happen if the Personified Colossal Titan template combined with the Berserk Lizard Demon Emperor template? I'd probably turn into the nine-tailed Mystic King. Elsewhere, in a dark room. Brother Huolong, do you mean you have personal matters to attend to soon and won't be taking any more missions? That's right. I'll be clearing my schedule for the foreseeable future. Understood. I'll take note. The ceiling above had cracked. His very footsteps could bring the place down. Not only that, but his eyes were filled with a dangerous glint. Unfortunately, we couldn't find your younger brother's body in the secret realm, but we did discover some of his belongings where his signal was last detected. Upon testing, we found trace amounts of nuclear radiation. He shook his head, as if he had already known this truth. Little brother, I told you not to get mixed up in this world, to stay out of it. Why didn't you listen to my advice? Mom told me to take care of you before she left. Cheng Finals. Yi won. He stared at the boy's face. Yi, without a doubt, a rare genius from Cheng. Huadu University will surely fight to get him, but it's a shame Huadu University won't get to see the day Yi enrolls. Back at Yi's place, a package had arrived. He was very curious. I was just about to go test my new template in a secret realm. Who sent this to me? The sender was Chuzhou. Yi. According to an investigation by the Huadu Central Research Institute, at 3 p.m. today, a new secret realm rift will open at Gongshu Mountain on the outskirts of Ancheng City. The secret realm is projected to be around C rank. I want to explore this secret realm. Would you like to form a team with me? After reading those lines, he couldn't help but feel it was incredibly cheesy. You've got to be kidding me, man. What era are we in? Who still uses letters? Is this guy a transmigrator or something? At the peak of Anchang's Gongshu Mountain, a crowd had already gathered early in the morning. So many people. There must be at least 1,000 people here. As expected, new secret realms are always highly sought after. As soon as Chuzhou saw Yi he greeted him. You've gotten stronger again. Yi, he flashed a fake, cheerful smile. He didn't expect this Chuzhou guy's senses to be so sharp. I used the money from the entrance exam to buy a few gene potions, raising the compatibility of the personified Colossal Titan template to 35%. It seems low-rank monster templates have their advantages. They can produce results quickly. He then asked Chuzhou, which university are you planning to apply to? He hesitated before answering. Huadu University. Yi, he replied warmly. Looks like we'll be classmates then. Chuzhou's expression seemed a little off. Suddenly, the crowd shouted, the secret realm's gate is about to open. The fire dragon monsters have appeared. Appearing before everyone was the figure of a monster. It was a 3-headed vulture. It spread its wings and flew out, attacking the astonished crowd below. A martial artist from below pointed up at the monster. That 3-headed vulture, he shouted to rally everyone. The secret realm is open. Brothers, kill that beast and charge into the realm. Following his call, many other martial artists rushed forward. Everyone was filled with killing intent, gathering their energy and unleashing their attacks on the monster all at once, as if they'd just seen a treasure. It cried out in fear. Oh no, I used too much energy coming out. Why are there so many martial artists here? Roar, 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 retreat, quickly, I can't get back, I'm trapped. A moment later, only a few of the bird's feathers remained. It was beaten to a pulp. The poor bird cried out continuously. Turns out, even the early bird can get beaten down. The Shu River Mountain mystic realm was actually a strange, wild forest. The trees here grew in a very peculiar way. The people outside quickly stepped inside, and Yi, he also made his way in, one step at a time. He had a calm and dignified demeanor, walking naturally, neither rushed nor hurried. A scent suddenly assaulted him, wafting past Yi He's nose and making him uncomfortable. The reek of blood is so strong. Then he realized it was a beast hide. These bastards were already lying in ambush, waiting for us. A horde of ravenous monsters appeared, their faces like human skulls. Their bodies were enveloped in demonic energy as they charged, eager to fight the martial artists. On the other side, the martial artists also eagerly rushed towards the horde of monsters. Use all your strength, someone shouted. All martial artists, according to national law, are to prioritize the elimination of demonic beasts to fight back the beast tide. During the battle, one martial artist managed to decapitate a monster. Next, a giant serpent had a sword plunged straight into its head by another warrior, dying in agony. Chu's gaze sharpened as he raised his ice sword. Bloodline power. He then swung his sword towards the monster approaching him, creating a powerful shockwave. Suddenly, a monster rushed up from behind, attempting to ambush Chuzhou, but he spotted it. Just then, someone shouted, Atomic Blast Fist! A streak of light shot across and struck the monster that was about to ambush him from behind, causing its internal organs to explode and scatter everywhere. He used his right arm to shield himself from the flying debris of its corpse. Yi, he rubbed his left wrist, looked at Chuzhou, and said, Watch your back. Yi, he had clearly saved his skin, a favor he would have to remember. He expressed his thanks. At their feet lay the corpses of a horde of demonic beasts they had dealt with, their blood and gore mixed on the ground. Yi, he told him that none of the demonic beasts in this mystic realm were worth fighting, showing contempt for the low-level monsters, which sent a shiver down Chuzhou's spine. Chuzhou's face was stunned as he spoke. Yi, he has already killed this many? He thought that the demonic beasts killed by him seemed to have their entire bodies dissolved into a bloody pulp. He was using wide-area nuclear radiation. Seeing the bones on the ground slowly disintegrating made him utterly terrified. It was unstoppable, and it happened in complete silence. The most terrifying part was that it directly attacked the creature's cells. At this moment, Yi, he was no different from a true demon descending upon the world. Everywhere he went, monsters were annihilated by the atomic radiation emanating from his body. Everyone looked at him as if they were seeing a demon descending upon the world. Damn it, how are they fighting so fast back there? Could it be they have a high-level martial artist helping them? Everyone was looking in Yi He's direction, marveling at the thought. Isn't this year's top scorer from Anchang's university entrance exam among them? Someone spoke up, answering the question. Another man was still in shock. Isn't the university top scorer just a martial apprentice? How can an apprentice kill so many demonic beasts? The young kid behind him said, You didn't watch this year's live broadcast of the exam, did you? That's right. What's so great about watching a bunch of high schoolers fight? The kid chuckled and said, You idiot, that high schooler could take on 10 guys like you, which made the man shudder involuntarily. Afterward, many martial artists gathered before him, wanting him to lead them in annihilating the demonic beasts. Herd the demonic beasts towards the top scorer. A man with a sword standing guard at the front shouted, beneath the forest canopy. The message was passed from one person to the next. We got a signal from the front. The leader of the beast tide has been eliminated. Everyone cheered joyfully. We won. But they continued to push forward, fighting to repel the demonic beasts. The beast tide is starting to retreat. Chuzhou wiped the sweat from his weary face after the battle with the horde. He let out a sigh of relief. Phew. Luckily we managed to hold off the first wave of the beast tide. Everyone around him looked utterly exhausted. After this battle, from the initial gathering of over 1,000 martial artists, only more than 800 remained, with many more injured, casting a heavy shadow over everyone's hearts, for the sacrifice of their comrades and friends in the fight against the demonic beasts. He, carrying a large rock embedded with crystals on his shoulder, let out a tired breath. Phew. Chuzhou, how am I supposed to carry all this loot back? His helpless expression, along with a massive bag of loot bigger than he was, astonished Chuzhou. Where did you get so many demon cores? Chuzhou took out a small ring and gave it to Yi He. This is my spatial ring. For now, just put everything in here. Hearing this, Yi He's smile turned positively wicked. Whoa, a spatial ring worth tens of millions. I never knew you were so rich, Chuzhou. His mind immediately started churning with mischievous ideas. A martial artist said, Boss Wu Sen's group is back. The two of them looked towards the source of the voice. It's a good thing he took down the Lord-level demonic beast, or we would have definitely died from exhaustion in the middle of that horde. Everyone looked up in admiration at the tall figure striding towards them. He said, Hello. You must be the top scorer of the Ancheng University entrance exam, right? I'm Wu Sen, a division captain of the Ancheng Silver Wolf Martial Arts Guild. He looked down at Yi He. Wu Sen extended his hand for a handshake. I just heard from my members about your valiant performance. I was wondering if you'd be interested in joining our martial arts guild? Joining won't affect your university studies. In fact, you'll receive a preferential subsidy. I, Wu Sen, am prepared to sign an S-rank membership contract with you. He looked up at him. The other martial artists' eyes lit up as they watched the two. To think that big brother Wu Sen would personally invite Yi He to join the guild. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Without the support of a guild, it's difficult for an independent martial artist to bear the exorbitant costs of the martial path. Moreover, the Silver Wolf Guild is one of the largest martial arts guilds in the Xia Kingdom. Even an ordinary student from Huadu University might not be able to get an S-rank contract like that. A girl with short purple hair approached, riding on the back of a tiger-like demonic beast. Wu Sen, I was wondering why you ran off so quickly. So this is where you were. She stepped in between the two of them. She looked at him. Student Yi He, please join our Chengda Martial Arts Guild. Although our guild is a little smaller than the Silver Wolf Guild, she said with a smile, but I can guarantee that after joining, you will receive 15% of the guild's cultivation resources every month. The martial artists nearby stared at her, their eyes sparkling with heart shapes. What? 15% of the cultivation resources? Isn't that equivalent to becoming a shareholder? A high school student is causing two major martial arts guilds to fight over him with such insane concessions? He nonchalantly picked at his ear and looked away. Sorry, but I don't plan on joining any martial guilds at the moment. Wu Sen chuckled lightly. I guess becoming the top scorer of the college entrance exams isn't so easy after all. No worries, let's just consider this a friendly meeting. Yi He. If you ever need help in the future, feel free to contact our Silver Wolf Martial Guild anytime. The two shook hands. Our accomplished martial guild is also at your service, she said. He replied, even if I can't join, we can still be friends. Is that the same hand you were just picking your ear with? Don't worry about it. Let's not sweat the small stuff. Chuzhou approached him. We've pushed back the beast tide. Now we can start exploring freely. This place is a forest of giant trees. Let's get to the treetops to get a better view of the area. And then we'll figure out our next move. He agreed. All right. He used his ability and flew off. Chuzhou ran after him. So fast. The two stood on a red canopy, looking around. Chuzhou stared into the distance in astonishment. What is that? In the distance were colossal figures so large he couldn't see them clearly. Bodies that massive. They must be over 1,000 meters tall. It's truly hard to imagine. He looked at them with excitement. It's not hard to imagine. We're still young. In the next few years, there's no reason we can't conquer the demonic beasts in this secret realm, or even uncover the truth behind it. As he spoke, his eyes lit up brightly. Chuzhou broke into a cold sweat watching him, thinking that this was to be expected of Yi. When faced with such powerful, unknown beings, I feel terrified, but he is confident he can defeat them. He stared intently at the overly excited Yi, thinking, it seems I'm not only inferior to him in martial arts, but in willpower as well. Yi, he is a true martial artist. Your demon cores will be mine, sooner or later. He then activated his life field. Strange. My life field can detect the distribution of life throughout the entire secret realm. His eyes turned blue as he gazed forward. But to the southeast, there's a block of amber. But that place is like a complete vacuum, totally empty. A monster emerged from the surface of the sea. It created a massive wave, causing the large ship to rock violently. Where there's smoke, there's fire. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. His eyes shone as he looked out at the sea. He raised his hand and pointed forward. To the lake, he shouted. Chuzhou, look to the southeast. There's a lake over there. Let's go check it out. In a creepy forest, while observing the surroundings, Yi He suddenly beamed. Liang Li. This surprised Chuzhou. Liang Li greeted him cheerfully. Well, if it isn't our very own top scorer Yi He? I never expected you to be so formidable, kid. A bald man stood beside her with his arms crossed. Oh, Liang Li, you know the young top scorer of Ancheng? A woman with glasses asked cheerfully. Yeah, hurry up and introduce us. Top scorer Yi, he was incredibly impressive during the Beast Tide earlier. Yi, he stepped forward. Liang Li, how long have you all been here? Liang Li replied. We just got here not long ago. 2 of our teammates who are good swimmers went down into the lake to scout ahead. Suddenly, a young man surfaced from the water, gasping for air. He shouted excitedly, We're rich! We're gonna be rich! Liang Li remained calm. Explain clearly. How are we going to get rich? He immediately replied, There are ruins at the bottom of the lake. We're about to hit the jackpot. Liang Li was joyfully surprised. Really? That's amazing for us. Yi? He asked blankly. What are ruins? Why are they so excited? Chuzhou explained, In the secret realms, there are mysterious structures believed to be left behind by a previous civilization. Experts collectively call them ruins. It's said that the theoretical foundations of humanity's modern martial arts and a lot of our gene technology originated from those ruins. The man suddenly took notice. There are other people here? He let out a loud laugh, his hand immediately drawing his sword. He asked fiercely, Who are you two? How dare you eavesdrop on our conversation? Liang Li immediately stopped him. Stop, Yu Yang. Yi He and Chuzhou are the top scorer and runner-up from the Ancheng College entrance exams. Their strength far exceeds that of most ordinary martial artists. Let's have them join us this time. Yi He nodded in agreement. That's right, pal. Don't get so worked up. The 2 of us can help you explore the ruins. The man was agitated. What about the loot? Yi He held up his hand. We're outside help. We'll split it based on contribution. You get what you earn. The man thought for a moment, then said, All right then. You can join us for now, but don't try anything funny. He thought to himself, the top scorer and the runner-up, they'll be major figures in the future. It's best not to make enemies of them. Underwater, the man led the way with everyone following behind. Inside the cave, he explained, Go through this cavern, and the ruins are right inside. Then he looked around, searching. That's weird. Where's that Li Wei guy? Wasn't he supposed to be standing guard here? The bald man spoke up. Maybe he found some treasure, and went on ahead by himself. The first man pointed. Hey, Levi, answer me, Levi. Hey, the woman with glasses asked. When you guys got to this underwater cave, did you check for any signs of demonic beast activity? The man replied. Li Wei and I already put out bait to lure them out, but not a single demonic beast showed up. The woman with the glasses trembled. This place seems pretty dangerous, and Li Wei is missing. Should we really keep exploring? The man shouted angrily. Explore! We have to explore! Riches and glory are waiting for you right in front of your eyes. If you don't dare to grab it, you'll be a low-level martial artist for the rest of your life. If you're scared of dying, get lost right now. If you want to get rich, then stay. Everyone looked worried, and the man continued. If no one's leaving, then let's go. The man led the way, and everyone followed him into the cave. A few footprints appeared in the beam of a flashlight. Yi, he observed in silence, then suddenly mouthed, Something's not right. Chuzhou agreed. You're right. The timeline doesn't match up. Liang Li had said her team just arrived at the lake, which was only about 10-something minutes ago, but they had already managed to get into the underwater cave and pass through the cavern, and find a secret path to the ruins. It's like they're using a map hack in a video game. Chuzhou gestured. It's obviously a trap. Should we warn your friend and get out of here? Yi, he smiled. Don't worry, I have an ace up my sleeve. Inside the cave were many vines. A voice rang out. This is a demon core. It's lost its light. Looks like it was drained of its energy a long time ago. No wonder we didn't see any demonic beasts on our way down. Turns out they were all eaten. Liang Li asked worriedly, Yu Yang, where did you say the ruins were? The woman with the glasses suddenly screamed, That's. Everyone looked. Li Wei is dead. Everyone was instantly terrified. The man clutched his head and screamed, Where are the ruins? Why aren't there any ruins here? Where did the ruins go? He held his head. Li Wei is dead. How did you die? The vines, the vines. I think the vines got me too. You guys, run. A second later, the man exploded, sending thousands of vines flying out. Everyone was terrified. And Yu Yang? He was blasted away by a sudden flash of light. He remained calm, not expecting the demonic beast to be so intelligent. He looked at the red orb and said, after hunting down 2 fighters, it even became a parasite in one of their brains, using him as bait to lure in more prey. It seems we've been led right into its hunting ground. The others shouted in panic. The monster has blocked the way we came in. It's not letting us escape. Chuzhou remained calm. I've read about this type of vine-controlling monster in a book before. It's a second-tier, king-level demonic beast, the ghost demon vine. Liang Li was terrified. Second-tier king level. A king-level bloodline can't be judged by normal standards. A being of this level is something that first-tier fighters like us can't possibly fight against. He shouted angrily. I don't care what level it is, just watch me blow it to smithereens. Suddenly, the cave exploded, and a fighter appeared out of nowhere. I'm here to take your life. This declaration shocked everyone. A bloody aura surged. It was an 8th stage fighter, Yi. He turned to the mountain-sized man behind him and asked, someone still remembers me? The man looked down on Yi from his towering height, like a god looking down on a mortal, and sneered. I heard that in the secret realm of Kongthu Mountain. Someone used a nuclear radiation ability to fight off the beast tide. I knew it had to be you. All I had to do was follow the residual radiation to track your movements. To avoid being detected, I held my breath and focused my senses, following you all the way to this underground cave. I can't believe you still noticed me. You even used a huge rock to block my way in. I completely stopped my heartbeat and breathing to fake my death. Yet you still saw through it. You truly are the one who cornered my Huo brothers. He put on his most innocent face, pouted, and said, Hey old man. Who are you? You just burst in here, spouting all sorts of strange things. Do we know each other? The huge man roared in anger, raising a fist that glowed with a crimson light towards Yi He, and cursed, Stop playing dumb, just die. He swung his arm down, his voice trembling with rage. Is this the lair of the ghost demon vine? Did you lead me into the monster's nest just to have it attack me? The tangent-like man screamed in fury, his mouth opened wide enough to fit an elbow. Damn it, was this also part of your plan? Yi He punched wildly at the air, rambling non-stop. The ghost demon vine's specialty is absorbing martial energy and secreting a neurotoxin. If this keeps up, I'll definitely die here. Damn it, you dare to trick me. Watching him from a distance, he couldn't help but complain. Hey, old man, you're letting your imagination run a little wild. This is the first time we've met. The huge man flew into a rage, his punches shaking the very earth. After punching, he yelled to himself, This is so annoying. My target is that bastard Yi, not this bundle of weeds. Liang Li looked up in horror at the large and small boulders falling from above. This is bad. The cave is about to collapse from their fight. Confused, she turned around at the sound of a voice echoing from behind her. Get out of the way. The golden-clad man, it was unclear if he was human or monster, began to emit from his mouth a glowing blue orb, the pressure from it filling the entire space around him. He spat the orb out, and wherever it flew, the area was torn apart by a blinding blue light. The seawater violently swept up the large boulders that were sent flying by the orb's pressure. Chuzhou yelled urgently to Liang Li. Liang Li, you guys go on ahead. The 8th stage fighter swung a fiery fist, gritting his teeth menacingly. Don't even think about running. Sentimental soul-crushing fist. Chuzhou deployed an ice-cold technique, blocking the man's ferocious punch. His brilliant blue eyes flashed with a cold light. As long as I'm here, you won't lay a single hair on Yi He. The golden-clad man flashed a twisted grin that stretched from ear to ear, his pupils constricted as if from excitement, and he sneered, You little brat, I am the golden-clad warrior. You think this paltry ice can hurt me? He rushed in from out of nowhere, taunting, You talk too much, old man. Where are you looking? At the same time, he raised a fist that seemed to be turning into solid ice. Nuclear core bombardment fist. The technique struck the man head-on like a tornado, sending his entire body flying backward. He stood protectively in front of Chuzhou, speaking without turning his head. You go on ahead. This guy is a high-rank fighter. It'll be a tough fight for you right now. Leave him to me. Liang Li and the others, soaked to the bone, looked down at the calm surface of the lake. She said worriedly, The ghost demon vine has gone completely berserk. It's trying to churn up the entire lakebed and throw everything into chaos. Chuzhou emerged from below, struggling to lift his heavy body. Liang Li immediately rushed over and asked, Where's Yi He? Chuzhou only turned his head, looking down at the silent lake without a word. Suddenly, the lake's surface began to churn violently. A massive surge of energy shattered its tranquility. like waves of lightning striking deep into the water. A giant figure emerged, pulling another, smaller figure along with it. The ravaged body was burned beyond recognition, hovering in midair. Chuzhou and the others looked up with apprehension as the giant gradually faded into the smoke that filled the sky and disappeared. Chuzhou rushed over to where Yihe was trying to crawl ashore. Yihe, completely naked, struggled to speak. Chuzhou, lend me a set of clothes. Chuzhou asked, what was that explosion just now? He propped his hands on his thighs and sat down on the ground, replying, that mysterious fighter was actually carrying a plasma bomb. He and the ghost demon Vine took each other out. Chuzhou asked again, puzzled, a plasma bomb? Isn't that a restricted military item? What kind of person could get their hands on something like that? Besides, I felt like that explosion was even more powerful than a plasma bomb. Chuzhou continued to rack his brain. And I saw a giant in the smoke. His face went pale, and he forced an unnatural smile. No way. That was probably just an effect of the explosion. You must have seen wrong. He said one thing while thinking another. Phew. Looks like I fooled them. It wouldn't be good if they found out about my monstrous ability. I went a little too hard. That fighter was completely vaporized. There's not even a body to find. Luckily, I managed to get the ghost demon Vine's core. Liang Li waved goodbye as she left with the others. Yihe, we'll be going now. We're so sorry. Not only was this trip a waste for you, but you also ended up having to save us. Once you leave the secret realm, we'll be sure to compensate you. He replied politely. Don't worry about it, Liang Li. Consider this, me repaying the favor you did for me back then. If you really compensate me, won't I just owe you another favor? After saying that, he turned to Chuzhou with a mischievous grin. Next up, it's time for some happy monster grinding. 3 days later, at the entrance to the Kongthu Mountain secret realm. The moment they landed, the two looked up with stunned expressions. He's trembling, voice was filled with surprise. No way. In just a few days, this place has already been developed into a small town. They even have transport vehicles. The construction capabilities of the Xia Nation are truly terrifying. He placed a giant bag on the reception counter. The receptionist gently advised, Sir, please be a little more gentle. If these items are damaged, it won't be good for you either. He scratched the back of his head and replied with an embarrassed laugh, Sorry, but I have too much stuff. If I don't get it out quickly, you guys will probably have a hard time finishing the inspection before noon. The receptionist continued, Please rest assured, sir, we are all professionals. He calmly took off the ring on his hand and pulled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags. He took the last bag from the ring, which had expanded like a storage warehouse. He let out a sigh of relief. That's the last bag. The receptionist's face turned pale as she looked at him, thinking to herself, is this guy trying to sell off his entire inventory? She opened her mouth, trembling. Sir, are you finished? He flashed a mischievous grin. I'm done, but you'd better hurry up with the accounting. We still have quite a few more spirit herbs. At the Spirit Herb Appraisal Center, a noisy crowd gathered around the pile of herbs on the table, taking turns shouting in astonishment. This 7-star leaf is at least 3 years old. This kind of spirit herb usually only grows in extremely secret places. Even professional herb gatherers rarely get to see one. What kind of insane luck does this kid have to find a 6 Harmonies flower? This is a crucial ingredient for crafting the Qi C pill. Even if these spirit herbs aren't in perfect condition, their market value is at least 30 million. Some of the rarer spirit herbs on the market might even be more expensive. This martial artist is just ridiculously lucky. He struck it rich overnight. Old Shu, have you lost your mind? To be able to gather so many spirit herbs, how could it just be luck? You absolutely cannot afford to offend someone with this kind of ability. He watched the noisy crowd from a short distance, mumbling to himself, the green and white monocores don't help me improve anymore. I might as well exchange them all for money. And while fighting the beast tide, I managed to get 5 blue monocores from the level 3 demonic beasts. Along with the green manocores and countless items dropped by those level 2 monsters, that was the biggest haul. The amount deposited into my card is 275,700. He walked out of the center, still talking to himself. The monocores are dealt with. Now I need to find a buyer for this pile of appraised spirit herbs. Suddenly, a luxurious foreign car pulled up in front of him. A gray-haired old man approached and introduced himself. Hello, young Master Yihe. I am Li Yutian, the owner of the Peace Apothecary Hall. I heard you've collected a large number of spirit herbs from the beast tide. I was wondering if you would be willing to sell them to me? I'm willing to buy them at a price slightly higher than the market rate. He observed him and thought, so much for personal information security. It seems my business was leaked by those old-timers at the appraisal center. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. I needed to sell these spirit herbs, and having a buyer come to my doorstep saves me the trouble of looking for one myself. A while later, the high-end foreign car drove away. not forgetting to leave a parting remark. Next time you have spirit herbs, remember to find me. Young Master Yi He, the sum of 7,506,400 has been deposited into your bank card, Yi He muttered. All this money. It's not even as useful as getting a 10% upgrade for myself. Personal strength is the only true currency. The common gene potions on the market and those white and green mana cores are almost useless for upgrades now. He sighed. The mother monster has such a picky appetite, even pickier than its host. What the heck is a blood jade fruit? Even I don't have the qualifications to bid for such high-end gene potions. That's right, there's still another way. He remembered something. In the martial arts portion of the college entrance exam, my abilities completely crushed people like Liu Qingju. That was all thanks to the powerful ability of the mother monster Guangxi Demila. But in terms of martial arts techniques, I'm still far behind those martial arts prodigies. So, what I need to do now is find some of those powerful martial arts techniques. He urgently dashed off, not forgetting to shout, "Old man, I'm here to squeeze some gold out of you." In the principal's office at Ancheng First High School, the principal poured tea into a cup on the table. He had Yi He sit in his own principal's chair. Clearing his throat, he said, "Yi He, I didn't expect you to keep in touch with your alma mater and come back for a visit." Yi He smiled awkwardly and replied, "Principal, you don't have to be so formal," the principal retorted. "How could I not be? You are the top scorer of the college entrance exam, a role model for me, for the school, and for all the teachers and students in Ancheng." Yi He handed him a bottle of liquor, saying, "Principal, this is some medicinal wine I brought from Boss Lee's Peace Apothecary Hall. This isn't a bribe, but a token of respect for my elder. This is a beautiful tradition and principle of our Xia nation." The principal's eyes lit up when he saw it. "Yi He, you truly are a student with both character and knowledge, respecting your teachers and valuing your education. What a fine example." He immediately got to the main point. "Principal, actually, it's like this. I want to learn some powerful martial arts techniques. Do you have any connections? Since I haven't started university yet, I can only seek help from the martial artist families." He advised, "You've already been accepted into Huadu University. Your admission is a sure thing. Why don't you wait until you're in university to learn martial techniques? You're being too hasty." He looked straight at the principal, his eyes shining like brilliant gems, and pleaded, "Principal, I want to improve even more." The principal was finally powerless against his enthusiasm. "All right, I can help you with an introduction for this matter. After all, you are an exceptional talent. We educators, of course, must teach students according to their abilities. We can't be stuck in our old ways." He leaned in closer, starting to lay on the flattery. "The principal is right. Rules are fixed, but people have to be flexible. The education sector is truly fortunate to have someone like you who understands the need for change." Hearing this, the principal's eyes crinkled up, and he broke into a grin that stretched from ear to ear. He chuckled, "You're too kind, too kind." The next day at noon, Yi He received a call from the principal. The voice on the other end rang out. "Yi He, I've arranged everything for you. You can go now." He asked, "Thank you, principal. May I ask which martial artist family it is?" He was a little bewildered. "The Liu family of Ancheng is willing to teach me their family's secret arts?" On the outskirts of Ancheng, a car zoomed down the highway. A blonde woman sat in the back seat. "Gee, you're driving so fast. You're so intense." The young master glanced back and said, "This is nothing. I can be much more intense." Before he could finish, that guy he looked over with a smirk and said in a friendly tone, "Hey buddy, you shouldn't lose focus when you're driving so fast. Reckless driving will make your loved ones shed tears." The young master jumped and yelled, "Damn it, are you crazy? You scared me to death. You dare race me on a public bike?" With that, he slammed on the gas, leaving Yi He in his dust while cursing non-stop. "A nobody like you thinks you're worthy of riding alongside me?" The blonde chimed in with praise. "Ah gee, you're so strong, so manly." Humiliated, he narrowed his eyes. A second later, the young master and the blonde were startled by an explosion-like sound from behind, like some kind of phantom. He shot past the young master on his bike, as if it were a rocket. Later, the bike accelerated faster and faster, leaving a dazzling green trail in its wake. The other two were scared stiff, breaking out in a cold sweat. Can a bicycle really go that fast? This speed is almost as fast as an airplane. Arriving at his destination, Yi got off his bike, shielded his eyes from the sun, and looked up, muttering, as expected of a martial artist family, "Even their home is this luxurious, huh?" Within his life force field, a few incredibly powerful presences appeared. The gate opened, and a pair of beautiful legs approached. The beautiful Qingzu waved in welcome. "You're here, classmate Yi He." Yi He greeted her. "Classmate Qingzu, you don't seem very happy to see me again, do you?" Qingzu bashfully lowered her head. "That's not it." He continued to tease her. "So, you mean you are happy to see me?" Qingzu shyly urged him on. My mother told me to come get you. Let's go see her now. Yi He followed Qingzhu across the sprawling grounds. They stepped through a pair of deep red doors. Qingzhu looked up and announced, "Mother, Yi He is here." An elegant figure descended the staircase. The head of the Liu family, Qin Lan, welcomed him. Yi He. Yi He gasped, his face flushing at the sight of the beautiful woman. He thought to himself, "Prime Minister, I have finally seen the light." After the college entrance exams, at the magnificent Liu family estate, Qingzhu stood before Madame Liu, lost in thought, as she closed her eyes and sighed. She opened her eyes to look at her mother. "Mother, Qinlan waved her hand dismissively. "Qingzhu, there's no need to be so tense." She was still choked up, unable to speak. Her mother gently comforted her. "I watched the live stream of the battle between you and that boy, Yi He. You performed very well. Yi He's strength makes him a dark horse even in the Huadu college entrance exams. You don't need to blame yourself." Qingzhu just stood there, trembling and too sad to say anything. Qinlan stood up and continued, "Your little brother's aptitude is limited. He simply cannot inherit the Liu family. In your generation, you are the only one who can carry the family's burden." She walked over, lifted her daughter's face, and whispered, "But you are a girl, after all, and such a beautiful one at that. Your father passed away early, and right now, our Liu family has no grandmaster to support us. The family's power was forced to retreat to a small place like Ancheng. If a great family wants a marriage alliance with you, we would have no power to refuse. And that would mean the Liu family would be swallowed whole, our century-old legacy handed over to outsiders. I want the two of you to be together. What do you think?" Hearing Qinlan's proposal, Liu Qingzhu's eyes widened in shock. Qinlan continued to list her persuasive reasons. "He is outstanding. His talent is incredible. His family background is simple, and his future is limitless. From what I've observed, he's not some wildly ambitious, treacherous person." She stammered hesitantly, but her mother cut her off decisively. "You don't have to answer right now. First, just try spending some time with Yi He." Shortly after, the Liu family invited Yi He to their home. He now stood before Madame Liu, clearing his throat a few times to hide his awkwardness, then lowered his head to greet her. "Hello, Auntie. This is a small gift I brought." Standing above him, Qinlan replied gracefully, "Welcome to the Liu family, Yi He." Her sharp, captivating face lit up with interest as she asked, "I heard from the principal of Yizhonghai that you want to learn some advanced martial arts techniques." He nodded in response. "Yes. Then I'll have Qingzhu take you." He was a bit surprised, thinking to himself, "She agreed that quickly?" She walked down and passed in front of him, instructing, "Qingzhu will take you to the Liu family's martial arts pavilion. Because the techniques in the pavilion cannot be taken outside, you will only have 1 day to study. Deep inside the martial arts pavilion are 3 sets of Xuanhuang level techniques. Whether you can learn them or not will depend on your own ability." As she said this, a profound, unreadable light flashed in Qinlan's eyes. Yi He cupped his fists, bowed his head, and replied sincerely, "Yes, this Yi He thanks the Liu family." Qinlan glanced at him, thinking, "He thanked the Liu family, not me, Qinlan, personally? It seems this means he has made a promise to the Liu family. Very good, Yi He. In the future, this Liu family will have you fulfill that promise. This child is truly clever. The more I look at him, the more pleased I am." Her gaze then shifted, glittering as if she were looking at a treasure, which made his skin crawl a little. He couldn't shake the feeling that the way she looked at him was a bit strange. Liu Qingzhu, standing in the distance, had a look of utter confusion on her face. Afterwards, she led him into a cold, stone corridor. Yi He, walking behind, took the opportunity to ask, "Classmate Qingzhu, why do I get the feeling you're always avoiding my gaze?" Startled, Qingzhu denied it. "I'm not." He moved in close to her with a teasing look on his face and asked, "Oh, really?" Flustered, she blushed and stumbled back a few steps, stammering, What are you doing, getting so close?" He laughed heartily, pleased with his successful teasing. Arriving at a giant door made from a single block of stone, Liu Qingzhu turned and introduced it. This is a door made of force-dissipating stone, a special type of rock excavated from within a secret realm. It can neutralize an attack from a Xuan-level martial master without breaking. He looked at the door for a moment, then asked, "Can I punch it?" With a look that was 70% confusion and 30% disdain, she reluctantly replied, "Go ahead." Inwardly, she was judging him. This guy's thought process is so weird. Shouldn't he be marveling at how amazing this stone is? He gritted his teeth, took a stance, and gathered spiritual energy into his fist. Seeing this, Qingzhu recoiled in fear as a haunting memory resurfaced. It's that green glowing fist technique again. The terrifying memory came flooding back. He slammed a powerful fist into the wall with a loud bang, yet the wall obviously remained without a single scratch, as if the punch had been nothing more than a mosquito biting steel. He clutched his fist, pouting in confused frustration. How strange. The moment I touched the stone wall, it felt like punching the ocean, or falling into a swamp. More than 90% of the force was absorbed. Liu Qingju's voice rang out, "Let's go. I'll take you inside to choose a technique." Her voice sounded normal, but inwardly she was giggling with delight. So even he gets stumped like this, huh? The two entered the martial arts library, which was filled with a vast collection of martial arts manuals, all neatly arranged and categorized. As they walked, Qingju explained, "The techniques here are categorized by defensive movement, body cultivation, and swordsmanship, and all are divided into different levels. If you want to learn one, just go directly. Just use this card to unlock access to that tome." He immediately wondered. What about the Mystic Emperor technique? She led him to the door at the end of the room and replied, "The one inside the deepest, smallest stone room also requires the card for entry." She pointed to the secret room before them and offered a kind warning. "But you can't possibly comprehend a Mystic Emperor technique in a single day. At most, you'll only scratch the surface. I feel that my mother giving you the right to learn a Mystic Emperor technique might not necessarily be a good thing for you. I can help you pick a few techniques that are just a tier below Mystic Emperor but are more suitable for you." Standing beside her, he started teasing again. "Are you worried about me?" Qingzu was fuming but had to restrain herself. "I don't want to talk to this jerk anymore." He coughed a few times and continued, "You don't need to worry about me. I know what I'm doing. If I'm going to learn something, I'm going to learn the strongest. If you have a Mystic Emperor technique right in front of you and don't dare to learn it, you might as well just go home." Pausing for a moment, he suddenly realized and asked, "This door is made of black force nullifying stone." Beep, beep, beep. The sound of a password being entered echoed. Liu Qingju explained, as she pressed the keypad. "The secret vault, storing a Mystic Emperor technique, naturally has to be more secure. This type of black force nullifying stone is extremely rare. My great-grandfather's generation had to start collecting just to gather enough stone to build this wall." The vault door slowly opened, and the lights inside automatically blazed to life. Inside the room stood 3 massive safes. The one in the middle contained the Mystic Emperor technique, the demon captive body. She continued to explain the rules. The way to cultivate a Mystic Emperor technique isn't by reading, but by sensing the martial intent left behind by its creator. If you can't sense it, or if a martial artist's attributes clash with the martial intent, it's impossible to begin cultivating the Mystic Emperor technique. Simply put, a Mystic Emperor technique is a living thing. The martial artist doesn't choose the technique chooses the martial artist. He let out a sly, excited laugh. "Well then, that's perfect. Demon captive body, I'm the one you've chosen." The safe door creaked open. He looked inside and froze solid, breaking into a cold sweat. The Mystic Emperor technique. It's not a book, but a statue? Before him was a statue, a bit ugly and rough, but it was striking a super badass sitting pose. He sat down, leaning against a partition, and looked back at the statue behind him. His sharp eyes noticed something. Is this what they call sensing the martial intent? Have I entered the world of martial intent now? The Mystic Emperor technique isn't a book, but a statue? Qingju had warned him about this before. It's not just a statue. It could also be a painting or a magical artifact. Anything can become a vessel for martial intent. This is the mystical power of a grandmaster. As she said this, a look of admiration shone in her eyes. Only a grandmaster can refine martial intent and infuse it into an item for future generations to inherit. The rest is up to you. With that, she left. He was bewildered and called after her, "Up to me? Hey lady, you haven't even told me how to learn this thing." Liu Qingju just left him with a cold sentence. Sense the martial intent. If you are fated, you will naturally sense it. His face was a mask of utter confusion. Huh? Then he decided to lie down and nonchalantly declared, "As long as I'm fated, right? In that case, I'll just take a quick nap." In the monitoring room, Liu Qingju was trembling with anger, clenching her fists and muttering, I should have expected nothing less from you." In another space, he was discussing with the system. "So, this world of martial intent is like a spiritual world, right? Right now, I don't have a shred of martial energy. I can't even activate the nuclear reaction from the Damalak monster sample. It's like I'm back to being a weak, normal person again." The emotionless voice of the system reminded him, "Scan complete. Host's consciousness detected in a special space. To prevent the host from going berserk, the attribute panel will be applied to the host's spiritual body." He sighed in relief. "Good thing the monster sample is still there." The statue suddenly burst out laughing, its voice filled with arrogance. "My martial art can only be inherited by a true man. Otherwise, I'd rather let it rot in the ground." The statue now struck a Spider-Man-like pose, perched on a branch, sneering provocatively. "Kid, Prove to me that you're a man of steel." His eyes widened in astonishment as he thought, "This person looks exactly like that statue." The figure of the Mystic Emperor technique began a long speech. "When the thunderstorms come, the night parade of 100 demons will begin. At that time, you must guard this ruined temple for me, and not allow the wrathful Bodhisattva to be defiled by evil spirits. Succeed, and I will reluctantly pass on my skills to you. Fail. You will be torn apart by 100 demons until your spirit breaks, and you'll never be able to practice martial arts again. If you're a weak-willed coward, then hurry up and run." Unseen, condensation began to form on the rafters above, dripping down. Drip, drop. A single drop landed on his face. He looked up. "Is it raining? Looks like the trial is starting." It wasn't just small trickles. Perfectly round drops of water were now suspended in front of him. He drew his sword, gripping the hilt tightly. Suddenly, hundreds of glowing red eyes, filled with killing intent, appeared before him. His expression slowly turned cold and grim. The Huanlings let out terrifying shrieks and charged toward him like a tidal wave. He nimbly dodged, then charged left and right, single-handedly taking on the horde, his blade slicing through their spectral forms. After fighting for a while, he laughed, realizing, of course, the trial wouldn't make a martial artist fight 100 demons empty-handed. There must be a hidden tool somewhere. Amidst the raging storm, he plunged into the mountain of vengeful spirits without hesitation, frantically cutting them down one by one. The soul of the Mystic Emperor technique sat majestically on the roof, judging with contempt. "In this martial intent trial, all 100 demons contain my killing intent. For a mere martial apprentice to dare leave the protection of the ruined temple, he's truly seeking death. Looks like this time's challenger is another fool. The new generation of martial artists really can't compare to the old ones. Every time, I have to be the one to clean up their mess." Below, he was still desperately battling the horde of demons. One demon seized an opportunity and lunged at his back. But the moment it touched He's body, it slipped to the side as if on a banana peel. The Mystic Emperor technique exclaimed in shock. "Huh? The 100 demons can't even get near his body?" The demon that had just attacked was frozen, its face a mask of question marks, doubting its own existence. He looked down at his own body. He realized that in this spiritual world, his attribute panel automatically protected its master, making him immune to all attacks. His face slowly twisted into a sly, triumphant grin. "Isn't this the invincible golden body?" Then, a brilliant golden light shot up, piercing the heavens and scattering the horde of demons. Model. The Xuanhuang martial art was still immersed in disbelief, wondering, how is this kid completely unaffected by the martial will? Just how did he do it? He took the opportunity to brag louder than a military parade. "It's nothing, just the result of diligent, hard training." The 100 ghosts knew when they were beaten and automatically backed away from him. The gruff voice spoke up again. "Well said, diligent, hard training. If you can subdue the 100 ghosts, I will naturally keep my word and pass my legacy on to you, but we'll have to see if you can handle it." In the rain, Yihei stood expressionlessly, remaining silent amidst the roaring thunder and lightning. The temple was now in ruins, revealing a well overflowing with a chilling, murderous aura. He placed one foot on the well's edge and peered down. The Xuanhuang martial arts voice continued to boom. "This well contains the essence of the killing intent that I have condensed over my entire lifetime. The demon imprisoning physique technique is also down there. If you can refine it." Before it could finish, he leaped straight into the well. The voice went dead silent, utterly stunned. Well, very good. This is the first time I've ever seen a junior with such personality. Back when I was alive, at my peak, I was an outstanding figure in the mortal world, having surpassed even a level 5 secret realm. My success was due to the demon imprisoning physique, and my death was also because of it. As I grew old and my vitality began to wane, the killing intent and resentful souls suppressed within my body began to backlash. I suffered from chi deviation, and even ended up killing those close to me. To prevent myself from making any more mistakes, I could only take my own life. Before I died, I merged all the killing intent and resentful souls with my martial will, forging them into the vessel within this statue. Although 100 years have passed and much of the killing intent within the martial will's space has dissipated, it is still too much for a mere martial artist like you to bear. If you can subdue this killing intent, then on the path of cultivating the demon imprisoning physique, you will definitely surpass me. In the monitoring room, the mother and daughter of the Liu family were still observing the situation. Liu Qingju jumped in shock, frantically asking the person beside her, "Mom, what's happening?" On the monitor, his body in the real world suddenly levitated and began to tremble uncontrollably, drenched in blood. In the observation room, Liu Qingju's face was filled with confusion, her voice laced with worry. Just a moment ago, he had been sleeping soundly, a smug smile on his face as if he were having a pleasant dream. But now he was suddenly convulsing and bleeding from all over his body. Lan, standing beside her, calmly took a drag from her cigarette and said, "This third Xuanhuang martial art is something your grandfather happened to acquire in his old age. He once tried to cultivate it, but unexpectedly, even with his grandmaster-level cultivation, he was directly rejected by the martial will within the statue and suffered internal injuries. From that day on, no one in the Liu family has been able to successfully cultivate this martial art. If it grants extraordinary power, then the method to obtain that power is certainly not something an ordinary person can endure. To wear the crown, one must first be able to bear its weight. If Yi He has chosen to accept the power of this martial art, then he must." At this point, her eyes widened in astonishment. "Huh?" Yi He, on the screen, had woken up, stretching and letting out a long, satisfying yawn. Qingzu was finally able to smile and joke. "Mom, Yi He's training doesn't seem as tough as you described. Just a moment ago, he had successfully absorbed all the killing intent in the well and returned to thank the statue. Thank you, senior, for imparting your techniques." The statue no longer sounded arrogant, but rather like a gentle senior, offering praise. "Young man, you are the most talented genius I have ever met. Perhaps you can uncover the truth of this secret realm, something that none of us seniors could ever accomplish. I now leave it to juniors like you." Yi He's shameless persona came online as he chuckled mischievously. "You're mistaken, senior. I'm just using a cheat. The demon imprisoning flesh body is like that of an asura. Although the stats on my status screen haven't increased at all, now that I've grasped this Xuanhuang martial art, my combat power is at least double what it was before." It was clear that after absorbing the secret technique, Yi He exuded a completely different aura. The Liu mother and daughter rushed in to check on him. "Yi He, you've mastered it?" He gave a playful wink, taking the opportunity to show off for the ladies. "That's right, I've mastered it." Lan, in disbelief, quickly asked again, "How is that possible?" Even with Qingzu's talent, it would take her a full week of sleepless nights in the martial will space to just get a preliminary grasp of a Xuanhuang martial art. "Yi He, how long have you been in there?" "It's only been an hour. Can you really learn it just by taking a nap?" Liu Qingzhu looked at him, lost in thought. "Everyone calls me a genius, but the real genius is standing right here. Yi," he boasted proudly. "Looks like you two don't believe me, huh? Then let me show you." With that, he released a torrent of killing intent that surged like a tsunami. This is the killing intent I comprehended from the world of martial will. If I had to explain it, it's like an enchantment effect in a video game. It can be applied to my weapons, greatly increasing their damage. He clenched his fist, tightening every muscle as he controlled the immense power. Liu Qingzhu's eyes flashed with shock. "The energy fluctuations are so powerful, I think I can hear what sounds like the shrieking of demons within it. This must be the killing intent Yi He was talking about." Lan was so moved, she stammered, "Yi He, you really are." Yi He stroked his chin and joked, "Ma'am, your daughter is still standing right here. Could you restrain yourself a bit? I don't want to get the title of homewrecker just yet." Liu Qingzhu then made an offer. "Classmate Yi He, since you've already mastered one Xuanhuang martial art, would you like to learn the other two? You still have a day left to study." This made Lan facepalm and sigh. "Oh, my dear daughter, are you pretending to be naive? Or are you really this clueless? You say you don't want to be with Yi He, but then you turn around and hand over our family's fortune to him? Although, by investing in Yi He, we were already mentally prepared to accept him as our esteemed son-in-law. You can't just hand over the entire Liu family fortune to him all at once like this." Yi He tactfully refused and found an excuse to leave. "No need, classmate Qingzhu. One Xuanhuang martial art is more than enough for me to digest for a long time. I won't be learning any more techniques. Auntie, I'm a bit tired, and I also have some things to take care of at home." Lan stroked her chin and agreed. "All right then. In that case, Qingzhu, you can see Yi He home. The butler told me you came here on a public bike. Do you know how to drive? Go pick a car from the garage. It'll be more convenient for you anyway." The mention of vehicles suddenly reminded him of something. A car? Speaking of which, I ran into a guy on a really cool motorcycle earlier. Super cool and stylish. He even laughed at me for being poor. He asked politely, "Auntie, do you have any motorcycles?" Madame Liu quickly replied, "We do." "You like motorcycles, Yi He. You're just like my son, always making your aunt worry. Here, I'm giving you my most precious one." At that moment, Liu Qingzhu's younger brother was swaggering through the grounds, talking to himself. "I heard from Butler Dihong that Mom invited another live-in son-in-law. Let's see what kind of guy he is. My sister is the total package, both beautiful and talented, a once-in-a-century genius beauty in An City. Not just any ordinary man is worthy of her." Thinking back to that poor loser on a bicycle, he couldn't help but get angry. That brat on the public bike earlier was so annoying, he scared off the girl I was hitting on. He better hope I don't see him again. In a flash, He sped past him on a motorcycle like a bolt of lightning. Startled, he whipped his head around to look. The person who just passed. Wasn't that the guy on the bicycle from before? And what's more, the motorcycle he's riding is mine. Yi. He quickly returned to his neighborhood, where a bowl of demon cores with several dipping sauces were laid out before him. He muttered, "Last time I swallowed the demon cores raw, they were so bland. This time, I'll add some soul sauces to enhance the flavor." His face filled with anticipation as he picked up a piece and dipped it into the godly sauce, raising the sauce-covered demon core to his mouth to eat it, deciding on a green one first. The moment he swallowed the demon core, a system notification popped up. Host Yi He. Comprehensive Physique. 23.8. Monster Template. Guangxi Demo La. Compatibility. 21%. Monster Template. Supergiant Transformation. Compatibility. 85%. Distributable points available. Yi. He looked at the virtual screen and mused, "My stats have increased, so I can allocate my points now. Last time, in the Gongshu Mountain Secret Realm, I used the Supergiant Transformation template, and I was about 50 meters tall. While that's gigantic compared to ordinary demonic beasts, it was still tiny compared to that mystical, mountain-sized creature in the Gongshu Mountain Secret Realm. After some thought, he made his decision. He had to get even bigger. He dumped all his points into the giant monster template, then popped another demon core into his mouth, a golden one from a level 2 demon vine. After he ate it, immense sources of energy erupted from his body. The attribute panel immediately appeared, displaying a notification. The Guangxi Demo La Monster template is absorbing the gene sequence of a special plant-based organism, triggering a unique mutation. Does the host wish to stop the mutation process? Below were two options, yes or no. His eyes widened in surprise at the word mutation. Then he stroked his chin, deep in thought. A mutation meant it would become a monster template with different attributes. If the attributes were beneficial, that's great. But if they were detrimental, it would basically be a de-evolution. But what the hell? Might as well risk it. It's how a bicycle becomes a motorcycle. After making up his mind, he immediately selected no, and the system displayed a new notification. Congratulations to the host for unlocking an S-rank isotopic monster template. Following the system's announcement, something brilliant began to bloom before him. He could only look on, utterly stunned. As the creature evolved, the system continued its explanation. When the Guangxi Demo La template reaches 100%, there is a 2% chance of it class-changing into the Xingzhu Demo La. Yi clenched his fists, overjoyed. Xingzhu Demo La. Even the name sounds powerful. But I need to get the current template to 100% first. Gotta hurry and upgrade. Suddenly, the sound of strange sirens blared from outside his window. He glanced over, confused. What the hell is this? A terrorist attack? Armed police were storming the streets, shouting, "Block all exits in the area. Don't let them escape. Search everywhere. Don't miss a single corner." Suddenly, a sharp knock, knock, knock came from his door. He glanced toward it and frowned. The original owner of this body was a weirdo. He didn't have any close friends who would visit at this hour, and I didn't order any food or packages, so who could that be? In an annoyed voice, he called out, "Who is it?" The woman, perched outside his door in a spider-like posture, casually replied, "Huh, it seems you're no ordinary martial artist. Originally, I was just going to hide something here and alter your memories a little, but since you found me out, well, you'll just have to play along, and don't even think about running." He thought for a moment, smacked his lips, and said something completely unrelated. "Whatever, I've got plenty of savings, I can just buy another house." The woman looked surprised. "What did you just say?" He struck a majestic Bruce Lee pose, pointed right at her, and declared, "I said, you're already dead." Meanwhile, outside, her accomplice Zhu Yi was still battling the police. Seeing that he was covered in wounds, the officers signaled to each other, "He's showing an opening, arrest him." Zhu Yi, however, just grinned wickedly without a hint of fear. "Yao Yimei, you have to get the golden gene out of here. I'll draw their fire for you." Then he let out a wild, provocative laugh. "Come on, my life is a worthy trade for all of yours. Human blood, forbidden art." Unexpectedly, a streak of blue light shot down right toward him. His heart leaped into his throat as he quickly dodged, barely escaping with his life. That was close. "I almost got written off," he panicked. "There's another enemy?" Zhu Yi recognized the newcomer. "Yao Yimei, your nano armor is supposed to be white. Why is it as black as charcoal now?" "Little sis, I've been risking my life to hold them off. All so you could get away with the goods. What on earth happened to you?" Yao Yimei sent him a telepathic message. "Zhu Yi, I've hidden the item. We're retreating for now." With a loud explosion that kicked up a cloud of dust, they vanished, leaving only a spinning manhole cover behind. In a deserted, ruined area, the two finally stopped to catch their breath. Yao Yimei sighed in relief. "We finally shook off those cops." Zhu Yi couldn't help but marvel. As expected of nano armor, it took such a heavy impact and has already recovered this much. From nearby, footsteps rustled, and an accusing voice cut in. "Hey, beautiful, you still haven't explained why you broke into my house. And I'm sure you both have realized you have a very serious problem. You were planning to pick a random, lucky neighbor, but you ended up picking yours truly. Breaking into someone's home comes with a special prize. So, allow me to play a proper game with you. That person was none other than our clown of a protagonist, Yi Hei. Ju Yi's jaw dropped. How did you find us? He yelled. He could sense the nuclear radiation coming off of Yao Yimei. He just smiled and said, less talking, more fighting. Then, unleashing his killing intent, he charged forward to beat the guy down. Since he needed someone to test the durability of his prisoner demon body, the man could only throw his arms up to defend himself. Not good. He unleashed a Lanshan fist. A massive wave of energy erupted in the shape of a majestic dragon. The force of the blow sent Zhu Yi flying, coughing up blood. With a cold, decisive look in his eyes, He had sent the man crashing straight into a wall. Yao Yimei watched in shock. That martial art is so powerful. Little brother, which master did you learn it from? With his hands in his pockets, He struck a cool pose and laughed. I learned it from Damala. She thought to herself, Damala? I've never heard of that name. I never expected a small place like An City to be hiding so many masters. Unexpectedly, Zhu Yi's voice could still be heard. Kid, don't get cocky. True demon beast form, he roared, transforming into a demon beast and regaining his confidence. I am a dignified 6th-level martial artist, not someone a little brat like you can control. A single step from him was enough to crack the ground. He rushed toward him, executing his technique, the dancing step horizontal lotus slash. Yi, with a thrilled expression, let out a strange laugh. Now, this is more like it. Just then, Yao Yimei suddenly appeared from behind for a sneak attack. Little brat, you didn't expect my nano armor could turn invisible, did you? I'm the real attacker here. He casually flicked his hand, sending a palm strike straight through her body before scoffing, stop getting in the way. She was quickly knocked out by him. Zhu Yi grimaced and thought to himself, that useless Yao Yimei failed even with a sneak attack. Looks like it's up to me. With that, he charged forward. He smirked and uttered 2 words, bring it. Their fists collided, creating a deafening sound. He said in surprise, to think his defensive power increased by this much. Zhu Yi laughed maniacally and growled, kid, the true body of my Iron Rhino demon beast can easily withstand even a tank shell. What do you think you can use to break through it? Not only had his defense increased, but his attack power had grown even stronger. The tip of his blade had pierced through and was just a few centimeters from his head. This punch seemed to gather all his strength, intended to take him down in one blow. Go to hell. In a deserted neighborhood, Zhu Yi said smugly. Little devil. No matter how arrogant you are, you can't withstand a single blow from my Iron Rhino form. As the dust settled, he stammered, realizing something was wrong. Where are you? Sensing something, Zhu Yi turned around, only to see he's giant demon beast transformation. He screamed in terror. What the hell is that? His voice trembling, he asked rapid-fire questions. Is this a demon beast? Where did he come from? Don't tell me that little devil transformed into it? Without a word, he swung his massive hand and swatted at where Zhu Yi stood, as if swatting a mosquito. Boom! Just a light swat from him was enough to make the ground tremble and shake. Still, Zhu Yi managed to quickly dodge the blow. He began to attack him again. Bam! With his slap, dust and debris flew everywhere. He raised his gigantic fist, as large as a meteor, and rained down blow after blow on Zhu Yi. The system displayed a notification. Host Yi, Supergiant Manifestation State, Composite Physique, 23.8 to 294. Yao Yimei, witnessing this scene, was frozen in terror, her face filled with despair and confusion. I was such a fool. Why on earth did I provoke this monster? Yao Yimei's eyes darted around as she calculated. If this continues, Zhu Yi will be beaten to death. Running is not an option. I can only risk it all. She flew to the roof of a building to the right, out of sight, holding a nanowire in her mouth. She swooped down, wrapped it around Yi-He's head and said, this is a molecular wire from the nano armor. Its strength is enough to cut through high-grade composite metals. Even if you used some genetic technique to become a giant, and even if you're strong, the weaknesses of a physical body can't be changed. The nanowire easily sliced off the head of Yi-He's demon beast form, and she used the momentum to land safely. The demon beast's head fell with a thud in front of Yao Yimei. Only then did she dare to breathe a sigh of relief. Did I succeed? Unexpectedly, Yi-He's severed head suddenly opened its mouth, gathering spiritual energy at an incredible speed. Yao Yimei could only despairingly utter her last words. Monday. Monster. The last scene in Yao Yimei's memory was an endless stream of blue light as Yi-He unleashed an atomic energy beam so powerful it pierced through a building. After the explosion, amidst the thick smoke and dust that filled the sky, Yi reverted to his normal human form, slowly emerging from the rubble covered in smoke. He walked up to the battered Zhu Yi, who was on the verge of death and coughing weakly, and spoke softly, like a death sentence from the Grim Reaper himself. "Now, it's your turn." Zhu Yi, his face covered in blood, whispered, You monster." Yi, he stood there and said coldly, "Those who kill must be prepared to be killed. It's only fair." In the distance, the faint sound of police sirens could be heard. Zhu Yi closed his eyes and laughed loudly. "If I have to die this soon, then I'm dragging you down with me." Yao Yimei, the woman you just killed, hid something in your room. It's called the Golden Gene. He had become completely crazed, screaming hysterically. "Now it belongs to you. You'll face an endless hunt. Run and hide. I'll be waiting for you in hell." Yi. He delivered a light kick, aiming perfectly like Ronaldo, and smashing his face in, cursing, "Hide my ass. You talk too much." He glanced in the direction of the approaching sirens, thinking to himself, "The police are here. I need to dispose of the bodies quickly. This time, I might have gone a bit too far. Yeah, a bit too far for this guy meant blasting a hole straight through a skyscraper." After returning to his apartment complex, Yi sat on the sofa, texting to get some news. "Aunt Chin, what did the police ask?" His phone screen lit up with their recent conversation. "Nothing much, but Yi, things haven't been safe lately. You should just lie low until you can go to Huadu University." "Don't worry, Aunt Chin, you know me. I'm a good kid." "That's good then." Finishing up, he tossed his phone onto the couch, relieved that he had given Aunt Chin a heads up. Otherwise, with an easily recognizable move like my atomic energy blast, the police would definitely have traced it back to me. He picked up the cylindrical object to examine it. "So this is the golden gene those two were talking about. I've seen this symbol before in the P-files that person from Huadu gave me. This is the symbol of Leisha Diao, a major player in the biotech industry. The cylinder was engraved with the symbol of a skeletal Leisha Diao, with its wings spread." After a moment of thought, he came to a conclusion. It seems those two stole this thing from Leisha Diao and ran into all sorts of pursuers while on the run. From the sound of it, he's dumped this problem on me. Looks like I'll have to move. I guess I'll find a hotel for tonight. He looked wearily at his handiwork, a massive gaping hole in his apartment wall. In a B-rank secret realm, deep within the Swan Lake secret realm, a group of martial artists stood over some defeated demon beasts, discussing, "How was the haul on your end?" "It was all right. Got a few things." A red-haired girl screamed in terror. "This is bad, Captain. Look!" A massive swarming wave of demon beasts was rushing towards them, filling their view. Each and every one of them was hideously ugly, ferocious, and bloodthirsty as they charged. One demon beast, 10 times larger than the rest, let out a series of roars. It had the form of a giant snake, and something was sitting on its head. The majestic beast, sitting with its chin propped on a pile of skulls, was none other than the Overlord-class demon beast, the fifth-order blood-eyed black ape. The martial artists scrambled to escape in a panic. "Quick, report to the army. An Overlord-class demon beast is leading a massive beast tide, and city can't hold out. We'll have to get the nation to send Grandmaster or Great Grandmaster level martial artists for support, damn it. High-level demonic beasts rarely ever leave their own territory, let alone enter the activity zone of low-level beasts. So why is this happening?" The blood-eyed black ape propped its head up, enjoying the show, when its eyes suddenly flashed a blood-red light. The snake-like demonic beast, which was his mount, roared and opened its maw wide. Instantly, a rain of something massive and heavy fell from the sky, as a martial artist tried to make contact while running. "Emergency! An Overlord-level demonic beast has appeared in the Swan Lake mystic realm. The beast tide is spreading. Requesting backup. Requesting backup." Before he could finish, he choked up in terror, looking behind him. With a loud thud, his entire body was crushed into a pulp. The radio that fell beside him continued to buzz with a voice. "Received report of Overlord incursion. Please respond. Please respond. Hello? Hello?" The blood-eyed black ape stood up, crossing its arms majestically, and with a wild laugh, it ordered its minions to advance at full speed. A mysterious purple spacetime wormhole immediately appeared in the sky of the mystic realm. In the city, the citizens were all in a panic. When they heard the announcement that a large-scale beast tide from the B-rank Swan Lake mystic realm in An City was about to attack. It's expected to breach An City in 20 minutes. The army has now been deployed to the front lines to fight the beast tide, and everyone was trembling with fear. The army mobilized on command, as the general mobilization call echoed non-stop. "I am calling on all martial artists in An City to provide support. All martial artists, please provide support." At the An City train station, an employee used a loudspeaker to make an announcement. "Please don't push. Please maintain order. A beast tide is attacking. Right now, only children and students are allowed on the trains. The children are the hope for the future. If An City falls, we must get the future of An City out of here." In the mayor's office, a helpless Huang Jing leaned on his hands, looking down as he asked, I told you to request reinforcements from other cities. Which cities agreed to send troops here? His secretary, holding a tablet, stood behind him and reported, Mr. Mayor, this time, it's not just An City that's been invaded by a massive beast tide. Many places across the country have also issued beast tide invasion warnings. They can barely handle their own problems right now. As she spoke, she scrolled through the information on her tablet. The cities that haven't experienced a beast tide yet all say they need to build up their defensive fortifications to prepare for a potential beast tide. Huang Jing turned his head and asked worriedly, What did Huadu say? Can the Grandmaster level martial artists and above we requested come to our aid? Even one person would be enough. The secretary continued, An S-rank mystic realm has appeared in Guangshan City, next to Madu. All martial artists from the imperial capital have been dispatched to Guangshan City to stop the expansion of the S-rank mystic realm. This news caused him to collapse into his chair, devastated. Then, he regained his composure and said with determination, There's no time for us to waste. The battle to protect An City has begun, and we can only rely on ourselves. Over at the Chu residence, two young men were sparring. He leaped up and threw a punch at his opponent's face. Chu Zhou managed to block it, but was still sent flying backward. He smiled and praised him. Not bad, you blocked one of my attacks. Chu Zhou wiped his sweat and asked, When did you learn Xuanhuang martial arts? He stretched leisurely and replied, I've been learning for a month, so I'm so-so. But you, on the other hand, why do I feel like after not seeing you for a month, you've regressed so much? Chu Zhou gave a forced smile and replied, It's not that I've regressed so much, it's that you're abnormally strong. Suddenly, alarm sirens blared loudly. Chu Zhou frowned and said, Something's happened in An City. This is the beast tide invasion warning. His phone buzzed with a notification. Preparatory university students of An City have priority to leave. All students, please proceed to An City Airport for flight number B521 and B753, or to the An City high-speed train station for train A423 to evacuate quickly. Chu Zhou held up his phone. It was the evacuation notice. He, with his hands in his pockets, asked, You're not actually thinking of going, are you? Chu Zhou half closed his eyes, looked down, and asked back, You want to stay too? With your talent, I think it's best for you to leave. He let out a strange laugh, cutting him off. You talk too much. How did I not realize you were such a nag before? If we're not leaving, then there's only one thing to do. Kill. At the Liu family estate, Liu Qingzhu clenched her fists and said with determination, Mother, I want to go and help fight the beast tide. Qinlan sighed and asked, What are your chances of coming back alive? There are about 30,000 martial artists in the city, and if we add in some retired elderly martial artists and volunteer martial apprentices, we might gather around 50,000 people. That many people facing a beast tide is like a small boat facing a tsunami. The moment it hits, you'll be buried in a sea of beasts. And an overlord-level demonic beast isn't something An City can handle right now. That's an existence that even grandmasters can barely fight against. Qingzhu, your life isn't just your own. It belongs to the entire clan. These words rendered Liu Qingzhu speechless. Her face darkened as she left in anger. A martial artist family that can't fight demonic beasts probably has no reason to exist anymore. She slammed the door on her way out, showing her anger. Qinlan calmly lit a cigarette and gave an order. Yi Hong, we're leaving An City. From behind her, Yi Hong asked softly, What about that student? Yihe. A cold glint flashed in her eyes as she replied, Send him a message. The choice is his. At the Swan Lake Mystic Realm, a group of people in the back jeered. Old Chen, you're already 60 years old. What are you doing here joining the fun? Shouldn't you be getting your granddaughter out of here? Old Chen cursed, Go to hell, Old Zhang. If you can be here, why can't I, when I'm still in one piece? Old Zhang continued, I never thought that after 30 years, we'd be standing on the same front line again, fighting against an invading beast tide. Old Chen replied coldly, That's right, it's been 30 years. You lost that leg of yours in that same beast tide invasion back then. Hey, Old Zhang. After we fight off this beast tide, are you still planning to go live with your son to retire? Your son lives in a bustling place like Jindu. You're just a country bumpkin. Won't people just laugh at you? Old Zhang retorted confidently. I'm not going anymore. I'm staying in An City to keep playing chess with a terrible player like you. I was born in this city, and I'll die in this city. The crowd began to charge forward. At the entrance of the Swan Lake Mystic Realm, the defense line roared. We are the last line of defense for An City. We must guard it strictly. We cannot let a single demonic beast enter the city. Huang Jing directed. 60% of An City's army, along with high-level martial artists from the martial master rank and above, have all entered the Mystic Realm. They are called the Vanguard Team, and they have only one mission, to gather basic intelligence on this beast tide and attempt to probe the strength of the Lord-level demonic beasts or even the Overlord level 1 within, and then bring that information back alive. Huang Jing suddenly froze when he saw something. A heavily injured warrior stumbled forward, panting for breath. Huang Jing frantically yelled, "Medics! Emergency!" The warrior struggled to crawl closer, stammering the mayor's name. He held up a trembling USB drive, forcing out each word. Inside this USB is all the intel our vanguard managed to gather. Huang Jing hurriedly asked, "Where are the others?" He replied, "Dead. They're all dead, trampled by the beast tide. We couldn't even bring back their bodies." His eyes reflected a horrifying figure. "You have to be careful of that damn blood-eyed black ape. It set a trap for us. If it hadn't, at least a few thousand of us could have made it out alive." A vortex suddenly appeared in the sky, and massive, hard boulders began to fall from it. Huang Jing yelled in alarm, "Danger!" As the rock fragments rained down, Huang Jing suddenly realized their target. Are they aiming for the defensive landmines under the buildings? The falling boulders caused a massive chain of explosions, shaking the ground. Huang Jing informed the others. "Its goal is to detonate our landmines, to destroy the defensive structures we're building." "Damn it, it's an attack from inside the rift. Tank battalion, don't hesitate. Target the rift's fissure and open fire." Huang Jing braced himself against the shockwave from the massive explosion. He muttered, "Instead of releasing the demonic beasts, they're using long-range attacks first to wear us down. Since when do demonic beasts know how to use human military tactics? Damn it, you cursed animals." More sharp boulders began to fall from the vortex in the sky. It was the second wave of attacks. This time, the number of stone pillars suddenly increased. The pillars plunged into the ground, causing continuous, violent tremors. A Special Forces soldier sensed something behind him and turned, shouting, "Watch out! Enemy attack!" In a flash, a demonic beast lunged forward and bit his head off. A swarm of demonic beasts poured in. Huang Jing shouted orders. "They're using the stone pillars as drop pods for the beasts. They're coming out of the rift's fissure through those pillars and being dropped directly into our rear lines to cause chaos. Damn it, don't let those pillars land. Stop every single one of those stone pillars." From the other side of the rift, the blood-eyed black ape gave its command, filled with excited fervor. "It's almost enough. The humans have no fight left in them. Warriors, crush them for me." The demonic beasts swarmed forward in a massive wave. A giant gorilla crushed a group of Special Forces soldiers with its bare hands. He stood casually on the roof of a nearby building, observing. He mumbled to himself, "I wonder what Ancheng will look like after today. Even though I was only transported here a few months ago, I've grown kind of attached to this city. I can't let these damn beasts destroy the peaceful life I worked so hard to find. So, I have to act." He leaped down, transformed, and began a massacre, sending clouds of smoke rising from the battlefield. A subordinate cheered, "That's Boss Luo." As expected of Boss Luo, he's already taken out 5 demonic beasts. Luo Swan boasted, "You flatter me." Tai Shaoling scoffed, "You killed a few low-level beasts and you're already running your mouth? Luo Swan, is this all you've got? Your title as the #1 at Ancheng's 3rd high school really seems like an exaggeration." Luo Swan became agitated. Chu Zhou walked over. Seeing him, Luo Swan was stunned. "Chu Zhou, that blue mana core in your hand? You took down a 3rd-tier demonic beast by yourself?" "What?" Chu Zhou spoke up. "I didn't expect to see you guys here. None of you chose to retreat? Our parents are all martial artists, fighting the beast tide here. As their children, how could we possibly run away alone?" Luo Xuan's jaw dropped, and he pointed behind Chu Zhou's head. "Look out!" Chu Zhou turned his head just in time to see a tank flying straight at him. The battlefield was chaos. Dozens of demonic beasts hovered in the sky. Tanks were swarmed by other beasts, and the area was now nothing but a desolate wasteland. Luo Xuan panicked, unable to stop a curse from escaping his lips. "Holy crap, who the hell is throwing tanks?" Chu Zhou slowly drew his sword, an icy chill seeming to radiate from the blade. He swung the sword effortlessly. The tank was split in two, falling to either side of him. Tai Shaoling's eyes widened in stunned disbelief. Seeing its shape, she trembled. That's the first Overlord class that came out of the rift. How did it get all the way to the rear lines?" Chu Zhou calmly reassured them. "Calm down. It's not an Overlord class. Its size and pressure are different." The 3 of them stood frozen in place, watching its fist descend from above. Chu Zhou was shocked as a danger warning blared in his mind. Suddenly, a flash of blue light, like a bolt of lightning, slammed into the gorilla beast. The demonic beast's jaw dropped, its tongue lolled out, and it collapsed to the ground. It reached out its hand, trying to grab the one who had just attacked it. Before its hand could even touch him, Yi easily stopped it without direct contact. He grinned like a titan, baring all his teeth. "Time for a dental checkup." The demonic beast's eyes widened in terror. Yi. He grabbed its upper jaw and used his strength to pry its mouth open. He looked inside and sneered. "So filthy. Just how many people have you eaten? We'll have to give you a good cleaning. A blue light shot from his mouth into the beasts, as if he were rinsing it out. The light pierced through the demonic beast, tearing its body apart. Luo Xuan pleaded, "The beasts are fighting each other. Let's retreat now." Chu Zhou, also stunned, stood his ground and replied, "Don't panic. That's Yi He." Luo Xuan shouted in disbelief, "Yi He? That little beast gargling over there is Yi He?" Chu Zhou watched Yi He's back and replied, "That's right. With him here, maybe Ancheng has a chance of surviving this." Yi, he turned his head, flashing a strange smile. "Chu Zhou, I'll leave this place to you. I'm going to help out somewhere else." With that, he flew off. Wherever he went, dust and smoke billowed. He hovered high in the air, observing the battlefield below. Yi, he closed his eyes, scanning with his mind. Where is the largest concentration of demonic beasts? Found it. The defending soldiers fired continuously at a mammoth-like beast, but their bullets had no effect. The captain yelled, "Guns are useless against this monster. Fix bayonets." The entire squad raised their blades in unison. They charged toward the ferocious mammoth. Its tusks flung the soldiers into the air. Its pillar-like legs crushed other soldiers flat. One soldier screamed, "Captain, we have to fall back. We can't hold this position. We're just regular soldiers. We can't fight these demonic beasts." The captain stood firm, decapitating a low-level beast. He said resolutely, "We're soldiers. Even if we die, we'll hold the line until the warriors get here." Just then, streams of demonic-faced energy slithered toward them like snakes. The soldiers were confused. What the hell is this? This stuff. Could it be that the warriors have arrived? The streams of energy wrapped around the mammoth beast. Instantly, a blue light shot straight through it. The mammoth immediately collapsed, crashing heavily to the ground. Seeing this, the low-level beasts swarmed forward, barking. Annoyed by the noise, he raised his claw and lunged at them. The beasts were mercilessly flung into the air. In the other war zones, a panicked Xiao Yu was leading a retreat with his pack of beasts. The beasts are fleeing. He had a feeling they were trying to get to another location. Xiaoxia pointed to her phone and told him that Yi, the top scholar of Ancheng City, had just joined the battlefield. It seemed beasts from all over were converging on the top scholar to wipe him out. Xiao Yu's expression grew grim. "This is not good. We can't let Yi He end up like Master Lu Wuxi's group and get killed by the horde. We're going to help him. He's still just a kid, and he's the hope of our Ancheng City. Let's go ambush the beasts and protect the top scholar." One beast had a chunk of its head blown clean off by Yi He. The rotten corpses of the beasts were smashed to smithereens, their bodies piling up like a charnel ground. More beasts kept pouring in to surround Yi He. Xiao Yu screamed as he ran, "Be careful. A lord-level beast has its sights on Yi He now. Protect Yi He." Hearing this, the men shouted back defiantly, "Damn it! You want to kill the top scholar of our Ancheng City? You'll have to get through our dead bodies first." Then he yelled, "Kill them. We're saved. Humanity will triumph. All you damn animals can go straight to hell for all I care. Our top scholar will be here any second. Are you old geezers telling me we're not even as good as a high school kid? Let's not give the younger generation a reason to laugh at us. We don't need to wait for the top scholar. Our stronghold is about to be breached. Drive all these beasts back, and don't let a single one of them get away." A dinosaur-like beast charged forward with heavy thuds, trying to ram through the barrier wall. Huang Jing hovered in midair. Below him, barrier walls had formed a complete circle. Huang Jing muttered, "Divine Earth Wall. This can only contain a portion of the beasts. To completely end this beast tide, I have to eliminate the Overlord." A beast leaped off the wall, launching itself upward. It pounced toward Huang Jing, but he remained unfazed. Clasping his hands together, he generated a golden light, then fired the dazzling beam at the beast. Huang Jing sensed something behind him and snapped his head around. The Chen Shanju Yue, a colossal crocodile-like creature, was looming right behind him. Huang Jing's face hardened. The Chen Shanju Yue, a lord-level, grade 4 king beast. He frowned, calculating, the mount of the blood-eyed black ape. The Overlord's mount has made its move. It seems that ape couldn't sit still any longer. Huang Jing landed atop the divine wall. He brought his hands down, summoning a technique, Gene Art, Mountain Rock Tsunami. The ground of the battlefield buckled and rolled like massive waves. The Chen Shanju Yue narrowed its many eyes as everything above it coalesced into a blazing sphere. Huang Jing emerged from the sphere and said to the beast, "Why do you think I'd use an attack of the very element you specialize in?" Its half-closed eyes now shot wide open in terror at the light that was drawing ever closer. Huang Jing explained with a smirk, "It was all to get close to you. Xuan Huang martial skill, mountain-tapping strike." Enraged, the Chen Shanju Yue let out a furious roar. The glass on the surrounding buildings shattered from the force of its cry. Sharp spikes of rock, capable of piercing anything, erupted from the ground. Huang Jing watched from a distance, observing the devastation the Chenshanju Yue had caused in just its brief appearance. He assessed the situation and thought to himself, "Fortunately, I received intel about the Chenshanju Yue early on, and managed to get the other martial artists to a safe distance. Otherwise, there's no telling how many would have died." Huang Jing charged forward, yelling at the beast. "If your entire body had entered Anchang City, I might have been 30% weaker than you, but you've only shown a single head, which just makes you a lamb waiting for slaughter." It was as if a dozen arms appeared behind his back, his eyes blazing as he advanced with immense killing intent. Huang Jing relentlessly pounded on the creature's long snout. The Chenshanju Yue glared, its pupils glowing like a crocodile's. Huang Jing struggled to steady himself, dodging the stone spikes erupting from the ground. More spikes sprouted densely all over the Chenshanju Yue's body. Huang Jing exclaimed, "Truly worthy of the title, King of the Earth Element, to think it can even sprout stone spikes from its own body." An ugly face peeked out from the giant stone sphere, its sinister eyes glowing bright red. Huang Jing sensed the killing intent and whipped his head around, his mind instantly screaming, "It's an ambush!" A massive, hairy hand snatched Huang Jing. While he was still stunned, the blood-eyed black ape flashed a wicked grin. "Tiny human, what are you doing to my mount?" Huang Jing froze, his mind went completely blank. The blood-eyed black ape. To think it was hiding inside the stone sphere all along. The blood-eyed black ape's red eyes flashed as it roared sadistically. "Now, let me crush your skull, just to show you how insignificant you humans are before me." With that, it slammed the arm holding Huang Jing down onto the ground. The city was now a field of rubble, with enormous pillars of earth and stone jutting up everywhere. The blood-eyed black ape laughed maliciously. "Even though you managed to escape that blast in an instant, I've already confirmed it. There's no martial artist in this entire city stronger than you, so I can slaughter everyone here without a worry." Huang Jing had managed to escape its grasp, but not without sustaining heavy injuries. His face darkened as he glared at the beast, his mind clearly racing. Then, Huang Jing immediately raised his hand high, drawing upon a terrifying amount of magical power. His magical power formed a colossal dragon that soared through the sky. It opened its mouth as if to breathe fire. Nightblade Storm, the overlord-level beast, was completely unfazed by Huang Jing's threat. It laughed disdainfully and said, "Human, your resistance is meaningless. You're only delaying your death." It then picked up a demonic orb that was mounted on a cone-shaped pillar, like a game piece used for the oppression of humanity. With no natural enemies on this battlefield, this has now become a game designed to fill humans with terror and despair. I truly look forward to seeing the look of absolute hopelessness on the face of humanity's strongest warrior. It didn't have to wait long. Huang Jing's magical dragon swiftly advanced, opening its massive jaws to devour the blood-eyed black ape. However, the dragon's magical power had no effect whatsoever. It was like an ant trying to tickle the overlord-level beast. The beast let out a derisive scoff. "Not bad, in terms of speed, but its power is pathetic." Before it could finish, Huang Jing ripped a huge chunk of the ground and hurled it at the ape. Seeing this, the blood-eyed black ape replied smugly, "Decent power, but far too slow." It effortlessly leaped over the obstacles, bounding forward. In an instant, it had closed the distance to Huang Jing. The blood-eyed black ape roared threateningly, "Kneel! I don't like it when inferior creatures look me directly in the eye." For a moment, his face went pale, his eyes filled with panic, unsure how to react. The moment it finished speaking, the massive monster swung a powerful punch forward, sending Huang Jing flying to the ground. The blood-eyed ape's eyes widened in shock. Even after taking such a devastating blow, Huang Jing was still standing, uninjured. He glared at it, his body radiating killing intent. Under this terrifying pressure, the monster stammered in a bit of a panic. "What the hell? Why aren't you even a little bit scared?" Huang Jing slammed his hand onto the ground, creating a massive pillar of fire as he shouted, "Demonic beast, you think you're so clever, but you miscalculated. In the end, you're nothing but an arrogant animal." His mana quickly bound the blood-eyed ape, making it impossible for it to escape. Blood-burning forbidden art. This overlord-level demonic beast certainly wasn't going to surrender. It raised its hands high and yelled, "Did you intentionally lure me into a trap you set up?" Earth Vein Seal. Dark clouds swirled in the sky, covering everything. In the center of it all, the blood-eyed ape was still tightly bound by Huang Jing's power. It cursed at him angrily. "Is this your trump card? You want to seal me underground? So naive, you humans." Then, it flashed a cunning smile and continued, "You can't hold me forever. The moment your seal loosens even a little, I'll break out and tear every single human in this place to shreds." Huang Jing smirked confidently and replied, "This isn't a trump card, it's an anthem." With that, he ripped open his shirt, revealing a large wound right on his chest, and continued, "It is the anthem of humankind, an epic of our courage." As he finished speaking, Huang Jing slammed his own fist into his chest. This was completely outside the monster's expectations. It panicked, crying out, "You! What are you trying to do?" He had struck his own chest to flip a switch inside his heart. Blood sprayed from Huang Jing's mouth, but he answered without a hint of hesitation. "From the very beginning of this war, I buried in city's only tactical nuclear bomb beneath Swan Lake. The detonator was implanted right in my heart. The moment my heart stops beating, the nuclear bomb will be activated." The blood-eyed ape roared in agitation. "Damn it, are you trying to bluff me? Who would use their own life as a bargaining chip? You think that's enough to scare me?" Huang Jing's face had turned pale from the blood loss. He struggled to speak his last words. "I never intended to come back from this. After all, I am the mayor of An City. My name is Huang Jing." Memories from the past flashed through his mind. The image of him making his oath to the people became crystal clear. "I am Huang Jing, and I vow to dedicate everything to An City and its people, including my own life." He shut his eyes tightly and spoke his final words. "Now, I suppose I've fulfilled that promise, haven't I?" Instantly, the bomb was activated, and a massive explosion erupted. His body disintegrated along with it. The blast shook every corner of An City. Its destructive power was undeniable. Everything was engulfed in smoke and a sea of fire. The scene cut to a trembling hand holding a phone displaying an emergency notification. All soldiers and martial artists are to immediately evacuate the entrance area of the Swan Lake secret realm. Nuclear protocol is about to be activated. I repeat, evacuate, immediately. Tears dripped onto the phone screen. The soldier, his eyes welling up, tried to suppress his emotions to complete his duty. All the soldiers simultaneously raised their hands to their foreheads in a salute to honor Huang Jing's sacrifice. The martial artists stood at attention, sincerely grateful to him. A giant mushroom cloud, like a tombstone, suddenly rose into the air. All the city's inhabitants turned their eyes toward the blinding light. The martial artists who had received the warning and escaped the nuclear blast zone all felt a deep sense of reverence. This was a funeral of the highest honor. The nuclear explosion had carved a massive crater of fire in the heart of An City. The blood-eyed ape was now nothing more than a dried-up skeleton. Suddenly, a brilliant orb of fire appeared. The orb quickly sucked all the life force from the beast's skeletal remains. Instantly, threads of energy began to knit its skeletal hand back together, radiating an overwhelmingly demonic aura. Hundreds of threads started weaving together, enveloping the skeleton. The process quickly spread over the blood-eyed ape's entire head. In a flash, its eyes snapped open, overflowing with demonic energy. The beast slowly began to regenerate. It struggled to its feet and said, "I can't believe it. I was almost outplayed by that lowly human." The blood-eyed ape furiously opened its mouth, revealing rows of sharp teeth as it roared. "I will kill every single human in this city. I want every last one of them to die the cruelest death imaginable." It slowly dragged its body forward. "First, I'll return to the Sin Domain. Once I've recovered my strength, I will flatten this entire place." The Sin Domain was what the demonic beasts called their secret realm. A voice rang out, causing the monster to turn its head in alarm. "Where do you think you're going?" High above, a familiar figure in iron armor, radiating killing intent, looked down, causing the monster to gape in utter astonishment. "This human. I remember him. He was one of the biggest obstacles during our last beast-tide invasion. A terrifying human genius. Yi," he glared down at it, his eyes filled with rage. "I finally found you. Damn it. I was a step too late." With that, he shot towards it at a terrifying speed. Nuclear energy bombardment fist. The force of his punch was absolutely devastating, and nothing could stand in its way. His eyes suddenly darted upward. The monster had dodged the attack and was now launching a counter. It roared in fury. "You foolish human prodigy. In a battle this important, instead of hiding in the back, you thought you were smart enough to come to the front lines? This is the perfect chance to eliminate you." A confident smile unexpectedly appeared on Yi's face. He raised a hand to his face and said confidently, "If you had tried to run, my little nuclear giant might not have been able to hit you. But now, why don't you take another one?" Hearing this, the blood-eyed ape's face went pale with fear as it stammered, "You human, you're insane." Instantly, this new explosion reduced the monster back to a dried skeleton. Lightning repeatedly struck the ground from the sky as thick dark clouds and dust rolled in. A massive sphere of light appeared within the dry skeleton. The second explosion instantly swept through everything, shaking the entire city. This sight left the martial artists utterly speechless. "Look, why did another nuke just go off? What's happening over there? Could it be a backup plan left by Mayor Huang Jing?" As expected of Mayor Huang Jing, the blood-eyed ape, now severely injured, struggled to stand up and look ahead. The blood-eyed ape's face turned white as it trembled and gasped, "Monster." That was its honest reaction as it stood before the demonic beast Yi had created, the Imperial Armor Giant. It roared, refusing to accept defeat. "You, how are you more of a demonic beast than I am? Even a normal lord-level beast doesn't have an aura like yours. Yi, in his demonic beast form, replied with contempt. I'm not some hairless monkey like you. With that, he raised his claws towards the blood-eyed black ape, which couldn't react in time. Instantly, another explosion erupted, nearly leveling the ground. The blood-eyed black ape, with no strength left to resist, was sent flying. Yi, he wasn't done yet, he said excitedly. Don't run, my little vassal. The Lanshan Quan, Heishan, was hit right where it hurt. It immediately turned around, swinging its fist and roaring. Damn it, don't look down on an overlord. And so, the two quickly charged at each other, continuing their fight. Instantly, a beam of light shot down from the sky, kicking up a thick cloud of dust. He's arm was covered in blood, he said angrily. You're an overlord-level demonic beast, after all. Even if you're seriously injured, skinny as a monkey. Well, you are a monkey to begin with. He looked at his palm and continued. In my giant Emperor Demolap form, my combined physical stats have surpassed 30 points, yet I still can't overpower you. You even managed to injure my arm. But that's still not enough to make me take you seriously. On the ground below, the severely burned blood-eyed black ape said in horror. My full power attack actually injured you, but you recovered that quickly? Its eyes filled with resentment as it uttered, No, I can't beat this genius. With that, it turned tail and fled for its life, muttering repeatedly. Can't beat him, but would he let it escape so easily? He radiated a murderous aura towards it. He said coldly, How could a beast like you be worthy of taking Mayor Huang's life? Instantly, his demonic beast opened its mouth wide and unleashed a terrifying attack, nuclear breath. And then, the body of the blood-eyed black ape quickly disintegrated, leaving nothing but void. Damn that human genius. He's demonic beast spoke up. That monkey has burrowed underground to play dead. A magic circle instantly appeared around He. He said, But playing dead also means it's afraid. Afraid of being discovered. It's more injured than ever before. This is the best chance to kill it. It seems overlord-level demonic beasts can hide their aura, making them impossible to detect. He continued, blaming himself. If I could have found it sooner, Mayor Huang wouldn't have died. The demonic beast's foot quickly began scanning the area with magic. But it's heavily injured now. Even if it has a concealment ability, it'll be affected. As long as there's even the faintest life signal, I should be able to sense it. His eyes noticed a strange, long trail under the ground. He exclaimed excitedly. Found you, you damn monkey. As he finished speaking, the demonic beast once again opened its mouth wide, unleashing an immense source of power. The beam of light quickly forced the terrified blood-eyed black ape to emerge from the ground. It roared in anger. Damn it! I was so close. I could already sense the entrance to the Sin domain nearby. If it wasn't for that damn human mayor setting a trap for me. Before it could finish its sentence, a giant fist was already closing in on it. The demonic beast was easily sent flying by the attack. He responded angrily. This is the price you pay for daring to slander Mayor Huang. I'll make your life a living hell. The demonic beast was now severely wounded. It trembled, holding a fireball in its hand, and said, Give you an inch, and you take a mile, you despicable insects. It raised the fireball high. It said with determination, I'll drain the last of the energy in my demonic core to drag you down to hell with me. The blood-eyed black ape's arm quickly regenerated. It leaped high into the air, lunging towards He with a punch and yelling, Die! But he wasn't one to go down so easily. He quickly threw a punch in response. Lanshan Quan, Heishan. The two attacks collided, instantly creating a massive tremor. The monster's arm easily dissolved into dry bones, and then crumbled to dust. And just like that, He had completely destroyed the blood-eyed black ape. It fell to the ground weakly, in agony. He was also bleeding from his mouth. He laughed and said, After that desperate gamble, his demonic beast timed the blood-eyed black ape's fall perfectly, immediately opening its mouth to unleash a finishing blow. Suddenly, strange sounds rang out. Lap 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 lap. His head throbbed as if it were being split open. He struggled to shout. My head hurts so much. It feels like all my thoughts are in chaos. This is a psychic attack. He quickly glanced behind him and said, There's still a master here? Right beneath his feet, thousands of arms reached up. These hands lifted the monster high into the air. Don't even think about running. Instantly, strange hairs sprouted from He's hands, and from the joints of his supergiant form, more hands grew. They were dense, writhing hands. These arms have jammed all my joints. I can't move my body. He let out a cold laugh and said, Don't think this is enough to restrain me. As he spoke, a wave of demonic energy erupted from the supergiant form, and the hands were quickly incinerated into ash. He replied excitedly. Feel the intensity of this inferno. Even the hands from beneath the ground were completely burned away by the flames. The remaining hands were still trying to pull the blood-eyed black ape into the Sin domain. It urged them on. Hurry! We're almost at the entrance. Suddenly, it looked up, confused. The flames had now completely incinerated everything around it, leaving no escape. Seeing this, it screamed in even greater panic. Hurry! That giant is catching up. His whole body is on fire. Hurry up! Run! An ever-increasing number of hands helped pull it toward the Sin domain. The hands quickly covered the face of a strange figure as the sound echoed. Lap lap lap, big brother. Yi, he exclaimed in shock. What is that monstrous thing? Is it another demonic beast? The giant hands quickly merged together, forming a colossal mountain. Such terrifying power. Could it also be an overlord? If its true body were to descend, I'm afraid I'd be forced to my knees in the first second. At this point, Ancheng City was just a pile of rubble shrouded in smoke and dust. Strange arms wrapped around and covered the eyes of a mysterious figure. It quickly opened its monstrous eyes. Instantly, the monster opened its mouth wide, as if preparing to unleash a terrifying magical power. Yi, he clutched his head wearily and said, I clearly blocked the supergiant's hearing. And yet, that bizarre sound is still being transmitted directly into my brain. Yi, his demonic beast quickly opened its mouth, preparing to retaliate. Yi, he clenched his fists and said angrily, You killed so many people, and you think you can just leave Ancheng City like that? He raised his head, his face contorted with rage, and roared, In your dreams! Yi, he quickly placed his hand down below. The skeleton of the supergiant appeared once more, and he quickly moved deep inside the demonic beast. Yi, he gave a friendly middle finger, smiling defiantly. Here's a special core from my hometown. I hope you like it, you BT chess. With that, the mana beast opened its massive maw, firing a blast of demonic energy at the blood-eyed black ape. The ape's eyes widened in shock, unable to react in time as another explosion slammed straight into the ground. The martial artists below cried out in shock. Everyone, look! The Mystic Realm's rift. It looks like it's exploding. Is something wrong? Why are the mana beasts suddenly going wild like this? Could it be Mayor Huang Jing succeeded? Everyone, pull yourselves together. We can't let the mayor's sacrifice be for nothing. And city, we're saved. It seemed the last remnants of the blood-eyed black ape were finally annihilated by the giant's nuclear core. The horde of mana beasts that had been pouring through the Mystic Realm's rift into An City began to dwindle. It was as if the world on the other side had ceased its invasion of An City. The warriors of An City began to hunt down the remaining mana beasts within the city walls. This cleanup operation lasted a full day and night, until every last mana beast they could find was eliminated. Only then did the exhausted warriors finally stop. The battle to defend An City was ultimately won, though the cost was steep, with nearly 80% of the warriors and soldiers either killed or severely wounded. The site of the nuclear explosion at the Swan Lake Mystic Realm was a scene of utter devastation. Yi He, now back in his original form, lay sprawled on the ground, his gaze directed toward the sky above. Then, he struggled to sit up, wondering, how long was I asleep? Although he had poured every last bit of nuclear energy in his body into the supergiant's incarnation to trigger the explosion, this place was already saturated with nuclear radiation and residual atomic fission energy. It was like getting an instant recharge right after running out of battery. He gazed into the distance and couldn't help but sigh. This battle had been incredibly difficult. Mayor Huang Jing had personally entered the fray, luring the blood-eyed black ape to the detonation point and severely injuring it. Only then was I able to use the terrain advantage in the nuclear blast zone to repeatedly self-destruct, finally blasting it to death before that woman could rescue it. Thinking back on everything, he continued, Although my infinite monster model is powerful, it's still no match for an overlord-class mana beast. This victory was thanks to the right time, the right place, and a little bit of luck. Yi He stood up and said with a smile, Given enough time, I'll eventually stand at the pinnacle of the Xia Kingdom's combat power. But this Mystic Realm riot doesn't leave any more time for me to grow. I don't know when I'll be able to draw the next model, and even if I do, there's no guarantee it'll be a gold tier one. Fusing with the Stellar Pillar Emperor Demolator model is the fastest way for me to become a top-tier powerhouse, so I have to speed up the collection of plant-type mana cores that are highly compatible with that model. And then there's the Xuanhuang martial arts. If the infinite monster model lets me cheat my way through infinite space, then I absolutely have to master this superb warrior system as well. Although the progression of Xuanhuang martial arts is slower, its potential is immense. After all, it's a cultivation system from a high-level martial world. Yi, he turned his head toward the rising sun, as if looking at the bright future awaiting him. He said, Perhaps my coming to this world was to fulfill a destiny meant only for me. 1 month after the disaster in An City, a bronze statue of Huang Jing was erected to commemorate his great sacrifice. Yi, he was sitting on a bench, following the news on his phone. This time, a total of 18 cities across the Xia Kingdom had been attacked by beast tides, and of those, 12 had completely fallen. Among them, an S-rank mystic realm had appeared in Kwangsun City, shrouding the entire city in an impenetrable gray fog. He listened silently to the news reports from all over. The National Warrior Organization, the Great Xia Dragon Sparrow, had dispatched 30 Xuanwu rank warriors and 5 Grandmaster-level powerhouses, under the leadership of Great Grandmaster Du Jingming, to investigate. The news on his phone was constantly updating. This beast-tide invasion was no ordinary event. Even an S-rank mystic realm had appeared. The Xia Kingdom's strongest warrior, the Nation Protector rank, Fu Hongsheng, had been waiting at the edge of the mystic realm, but the team of warriors never managed to break through. His image appeared on screen, and an alert announced that he had personally entered Kwangsun City. It wasn't until 8 hours later that a heavily injured Fu Hongsheng emerged, carrying 2 surviving grandmasters. From that day on, the Xia Kingdom officially designated Kwangsun City as the 11th life-forbidden zone on the planet, confirming that tens of thousands of people in the city had perished. Hearing this, Yi He exclaimed in utter shock. Even a Nation Protector rank warrior was seriously injured? Could it be that humanity's survival on Blue Star has become this precarious? No, I can't afford to wait around any longer. In a suburban villa, a phone began to ring. Auntie Chin, I'd like to ask you for a favor. Chin Lan, dressed in a seductive nightgown, answered the call as she lounged on a sofa. You want to learn the other 2 sets of the Liu family's Xuanhuang martial arts. He managed a strained smile, thinking, is that really the kind of person I am in Auntie Chin's eyes? He then answered awkwardly, no, it's something else. I was hoping you could help me purchase some high-quality, plant attribute mana cores, preferably blue-grade, or even purple Lord-level ones. She asked, puzzled. Plant-type mana beasts are rare to begin with, and Lord-level cores are even harder to come by. You certainly have a big appetite, asking for so many. So, what can you offer me in return? He replied instantly. Every year, Huadu University holds a Mystic Realm assessment for new students. I can form a team with Lu Qingju and help her take first place. Qinlan's eyes suddenly lit up. She replied, you're greatly underestimating the top-scoring geniuses from the other provinces. I can only tell you that, compared to previous years at the Imperial Capital University, Qingju's strength would only be considered upper mid-tier. She hasn't reached the truly outstanding top group yet. And while you did overwhelm Qingju in your previous sparring match, compared to the real prodigies out there, you're still a bit lacking, he replied confidently. But Auntie Chin, isn't your only option right now to bet on me for the Liu family's revival? I can even write you an IOU. If I don't win first place for the freshmen, I'll come to the Liu family and work like an ox, and I'll even take care of you in your old age. She tiptoed down from her seat and said with a smile, work like an ox or a horse, you say? Qinlan looked down through the glass door, happily agreeing to the deal. All right, I'll help you out just this once. Then, on a beautiful morning, he went to An City Central Hospital to visit Chuzhou. Although his goal was just to see his friend and not hold a fan meeting, he was swarmed by fans on his way there. Look, it's Yi He. I heard he killed a ton of mana beasts in the Mystic Realm this time. Brother Yi He, can I add you on QQ? As expected of the top martial arts scorer, all of us got injured this badly, yet he doesn't have a single scratch on him. I'm your fan, Yi He. Can I get your autograph? Oh, thank you. He hadn't expected his name to be so well known. I never imagined I'd be this popular. After a chance encounter with some fans, he finally made it to the hospital room. I don't know if he was there to visit a patient or to mess with him, because the moment he opened the door, he burst out laughing. He pointed at him and said, isn't this Chuzhou, the most handsome man in Ancheng City? To think you'd end up like this. Chuzhou was curious why he was carrying so many things. Although he knew he was visiting, he still wondered about the items in his hands. It turned out they were gifts from fans he met on the way. Upon seeing Yi He, Luo Xuan raised his hand in greeting. You must be Yi He, right? But to his surprise, Yi He didn't recognize him at all. And who might you be? Hearing this, Luo Xuan felt a bit awkward and reintroduced himself. I'm Luo Xuan, your first opponent in the promotion match. How could you forget me so quickly? It seemed that upon hearing this, he noticed something peculiar about the person in front of him, and he was slightly taken aback. Luo Xuan understood exactly why he was staring at his severed leg. He quickly shared, don't look at me like that. This leg of mine hasn't healed yet. Why are you looking at me like my life is over? I can undergo limb regeneration surgery, and if that doesn't work, I can always get the latest combat prosthetics just released by Thunder Archer. Faced with Luo Xuan's courage and heroism, he couldn't help but feel a sense of admiration for him. He had lost a leg at such a young age to protect Ancheng City. Luo Xuan was truly admirable. Suddenly, the phone in Yi He's pocket started ringing. He picked it up, extremely annoyed. There have been so many spam calls lately, it's driving me crazy. But just as Yi He stuffed the phone back into his pocket, it started ringing off the hook again. It startled him because it just wouldn't stop. The moment he answered, "Yi," he was met with a furious tirade from the headmaster. "Yi, why did you block the important figure from Huadu? Unblock him now." To avoid complicating things further, he replied, "Got it, old man, I mean headmaster." Immediately after, Yi He didn't dare to delay any longer and made the call. "Hello, Yi He? This is Wang Tao, the head of admissions for Huadu University. I'm calling to inform you that Huadu University will be starting a month early. In 3 days, a special train will be there to pick you up." Meanwhile, Chuzhou also received a phone call. "Hello, Chuzhou. This is Teacher Liu from Huadu University's admissions office. Everything has been arranged by the organization." "Understood. I'll definitely be there on time. Thank you, Teacher Luo." Seeing the two of them being recruited so eagerly, Luo Xuan felt a bit disheartened. 3 people in one hospital room, and everyone but me, is a genius. I guess I shouldn't be on the bed. Maybe I belong under it. Because Yi He was still busy today, he could only visit them for a little while. I have to go. I've still got things to do. A few days later, at the Swan Lake nuclear explosion site, the massive mushroom cloud from the blast had thrown hundreds of tons of dust into the cloud layer. The sky over the Swan Lake area and for dozens of kilometers around was now covered by a thick blanket of clouds, plunging the world below into perpetual darkness. The swirling black clouds hung like a velvet curtain across the sky, allowing only a few stray slivers of light to pierce the gloomy world below. Yi, he stood motionless like an ancient stone amidst the chaotic landscape, his soul sinking deep into a state of meditation as the spirit body within him began to transform. Wisps of white foam, like celestial clouds, swirled around his gleaming dragon scales, wrapping his body like the spiritual aura that summons a divine beast. His eyes blazed with a mystical blue light, like a bright moon shining in a sea of stars. Infinite Monster Model, Host, Yi He. Composite Physique, 2741. Tyrannical Demon Godzilla Model Compatibility, 389. Supergiant Integration Rate, 90%. During the battle with the blood-eyed black ape, the compatibility with the Tyrannical Demon Godzilla model increased by another 1.5%. That was already a very high number. Combined with the nuclear radiation and the residual atomic fission energy here, this was truly a sacred training ground. In the past 3 days of training, his compatibility had increased by another 6 points, an incredibly significant improvement. His giant feet stomped heavily on the ground, creating a shockwave that spread like the roar of an ancient beast from the highlands. But it's a shame I have to go. In that very instant, Yi He transformed into a divine streak of light, tearing through the air and soaring into the sky like a sacred dragon shedding its form and ascending to the heavens. At that moment, Chuzhou had already arrived at Ancheng Station. "Attention passengers, train G66, departing from this station with the final destination of Huadu West Station, will be leaving in 5 minutes. Will any passengers who have not yet had their tickets checked please proceed to the gate?" He was waiting for his train, looking completely bored out of his mind, but after hearing a commotion, he knew instantly, he's here. A flash of light suddenly appeared in the clear blue sky, and right after, Yi He made an incredibly stylish landing, having traveled at breakneck speed to get here. Yi He let out a sigh of relief that he hadn't missed the train, still made it. Wherever Yi He went, he stole the spotlight. Everyone was in an uproar at his arrival. "That's Yi He! My God, that wave of pressure just now scared me to death. I thought another high-level demonic beast had appeared. What a terrifying aura. Even high-level martial artists who burn their blood chi until it rises like signal smoke might not have that kind of pressure. He truly is the pride of Ancheng." Chuzhou also noticed the change in Yi He. He's gotten stronger again. Yi He looked forward, his eyes filled with anticipation for the journey ahead. "Ancheng, I'm about to leave this place. This was the first stop since I transmigrated to this world, and it was also my beginning. Goodbye, Ancheng." The train sat silently at the platform as if it had been waiting for them for a long time, just waiting for the right moment to move. He clenched his fists, his eyes shining with excitement, his mind filled with visions of the lands that lay ahead. Before long, the train shuddered into motion and then sped away, leaving behind a quaking landscape in its wake. As soon as he sat down, Chuzhou spoke up. "Yi He, let me tell you something. Can you be a little more serious?" Leaning against the seat, Yi, he asked curiously, "Is this train filled entirely with the top scorers from other provinces?" Chuzhou quickly confirmed, then added, "Not only that, even the train car itself is built with the most advanced structures and materials, capable of easily withstanding impacts of up to thousands of tons. But even so, the number of Xuanwu rank martial artists escorting the Huadu train, whether secretly or openly, is definitely no less than 5. There might even be a Grandmaster-level expert standing guard." Yi, he couldn't help but agree. After all, the people on this train were the most outstanding geniuses from an entire generation of students in the Xia Kingdom. With his keen senses, it wasn't difficult for He to assess the situation with the other passengers here. Sure, there are a few masters out there, but you won't find more than 5 people who can withstand 3 of my moves. I thought this was going to be a peaceful train ride, but it wasn't long before disaster struck. Level 1 alert. Level 1 alert. The Huadu Express is under attack by unidentified enemies. The train's announcement system suddenly blared with an urgent message. Level 1 alert. Level 1 alert. The Huadu Express is under attack by unidentified enemies. The professors and other instructors are investigating the situation, and all remaining students are advised to evacuate the train cars immediately. Do not, under any circumstances, engage the enemy. At this, all the passengers on the train jumped to their feet in a panic. No way. Who would dare attack the Huadu Express? Could this be a drill to test the abilities of us freshmen? I'm not so sure. The Xia Kingdom is at its weakest right now. The nation-guarding level martial artist is injured and in seclusion. One of the 3 great Grandmaster protectors, Grandmaster Du Jingming, has gone missing. And what's more, many Grandmasters and Xuanwu martial artists died during the Beast Tide attack on Guanshan City and other cities. It's only natural that the nations and factions once suppressed by the Xia Kingdom would start to rear their heads now. So, should we leave the car, or… Meanwhile, Chu Zhou and Yi He were still unaware of the disaster unfolding. Yi He thought to himself, how annoying. I've been training too hard these past few days, and I was just about to take a nap to recover a bit. But on second thought, Yi He preferred to get some action, so he stood up. His eyes were now filled with excitement at the prospect of a new challenge. Let's go see what's happening. The train continued to speed forward, oblivious to the intense turmoil happening inside. Suddenly, as the 2 of them were heading to the front car, a student covered in blood came running towards them in a panic. Hey, hang in there. What's going on up front? The freshman, named Zhou Jingxian, quickly recounted everything in a terrified state. The enemy has taken over the first 3 cars. They possess a special kind of domain that can pull people into an independent space, so the shockwaves from the battle don't affect the outside world. Inside, there are terrifying enemies hunting everyone down. Our instructors, the Xuanwu martial artists who were protecting us, have almost all been sacrificed. They combined their strength to get me out of that domain and told me to warn everyone to run. This is not a drill. Inside the train car, as things spiraled further out of control, it was inevitable that panic would spread. Suddenly, a voice cut through the noise. Where's the proof? If you say it's dangerous up ahead, you need to show some proof. Where's a token from the instructors? Or where are the other injured people? Why are you the only one who made it out? I have a friend in the front car. His strength is enough to compete for the top spot among the freshmen. I don't believe that you could get out when he couldn't. After hearing Zhou Jingxian's account, the speaker's followers also found it reasonable. Makes sense. This guy's right. But Yan Zhenghong just crossed his arms with a serious expression. Get out of the way. I'm going to the front. Despite Zhou Jingxian's desperate warning, he paid him no mind and stepped forward to show off. Seeing them act like moths to a flame, he tried to persuade them once more. Wait. I'm telling the truth. It's really dangerous up ahead. Why won't any of you listen to me? Stop going to your deaths. After failing to stop them, Zhou Jingxian turned to him. Are you Yi He? Yi. He now looked back at him with a suspicious gaze. His life field could sense that this student was very unusual. I am. How do you know me? After he confirmed his identity, Zhou Jingxian explained the situation clearly. A girl named Liu Qingzhu showed me a picture of you. She asked me to tell you, whatever you do, do not go to the front. Hearing that familiar name, Yi's heart skipped a beat. She asked you to tell me that? That's right. She was seriously injured by a slash while shielding me. Even though it wasn't over yet, Zhou Jingxian started crying his eyes out as if it were the end of the world. If they want to die, I can't stop them anymore. But I absolutely have to fulfill that girl's last wish and make sure you survive. Faced with his pessimism, Yi lost his patience, bopped him on the head, and scolded him. Damn it, she's not dead yet, so don't jinx it. Are you still planning to go? In response to Zhou Jingxian's question, he confirmed his intention. It's no use. I made a promise to her parents, but he didn't want Yi to walk into the fire, so he blocked his path. No, I absolutely cannot let you pass. At this point, he couldn't help but wonder something, even though it was a bit off topic. With this pathetic state you're in, how did you even get an acceptance letter to Huadu? While Yi was still trying to persuade Zhou Jingxian with words, the hot-headed Chu Zhou had already made his move. Zhou Jingxian couldn't understand why they were so determined to press forward, despite trying his best to stop them. I'm trying to save you. Why are you all so unreasonable? The moment I say something you don't like, you resort to violence. Miss Qingzhu is such a refined person. How could she be friends with 2 brutes like you? Who would have thought that in the next second, he would lose his patience and kick him straight in the stomach? Stop your nonsense. While Zhou Jingxian was still trembling and struggling to his feet, they had already moved on ahead, so strong. We're really not on the same level. Sorry about that. I'll leave this chi and blood pill for you. We're in a hurry. Despite all of Zhou Jingxian's efforts to stop them, they finally ventured into the danger zone. Chuzhou. Let's go. Don't go. It's dangerous. At this moment, he was standing in front of a stairwell, and the floor number displayed above it was the 3rd floor. In front of him was a swirling purple portal leading to another dimension. This must be the so-called entrance to the independent space that the freshman mentioned. However, Yi wasn't careless enough to just rush in, so he picked up a suitcase to test the waters. Immediately after, Yi mercilessly hurled the suitcase straight into the spatial rift. After waiting for what felt like an eternity, and with nothing happening, he came to a conclusion. No reaction. Can't even hear a sound. Even my life field can't perceive any energy inside. A lot of freshmen came this way just now. It seems they all went inside. Feeling certain that there were no traps waiting for him, he immediately plunged into the spatial rift. Just as he entered the space, as he used his life force to sense his surroundings, his eyes darted around, scanning the purple aura radiating from his body. But then, a gleaming white path appeared at Yi's feet, making him question his very existence. What a headache. What in the world is this trickery? Strange. They clearly entered at the same time. So how come Chuzhou is suddenly gone? There's a light up ahead. I'll check it out first and figure things out from there. Time was short, so he couldn't afford to waste another second. He immediately sprinted forward. However, after following that gleaming white path, he arrived in an incredibly bizarre and desolate city, where the buildings looked like they had been turned upside down. What the hell is this place? He raised his hand to examine it. My life force field isn't reacting. Could this place be sealed off? He didn't hesitate any longer. He shot up like a flash of lightning, leaving only a streak of light cutting through the air behind him. The old methods were still the most effective. In the blink of an eye, he landed on the roof of a nearby building, his stance as steady as a hawk stalking its prey. His cold gaze pierced forward as he raised his hand, summoning a brilliant sphere of energy, its power swirling in his palm. Quit playing games. And in the very next moment, the entire space shook from a massive explosion, as energy erupted into green smoke that filled the sky. Boom. And that's all for now, folks. If you want to keep following this series, be sure to smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, give that like button a gentle tap. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Bye-bye, my loves.